the job fake, the job useless, but on the way out, you still taking shots at the boss. That's how I look at that too. Like, if I hit the lottery tomorrow, I don't care nothing about no job that I worked on. I ain't got nothing to say about nobody over there. I'm done. You feel me? So, people still be low-key hurting on the inside about stuff and having a hard time letting stuff go, and they try to put on brave front. It's all good though. This is why you don't waste your time going back and forth with certain people. You just don't do that. Let me bring my guy Jeff up. Also, you too, Kevin J. Okay, also you too, Jeff. Raise your hand. There you go. Oh yeah. And also bring up the wisdom of Thomas, aka Tommy X. Y'all just don't be realizing, man. Tommy X and Keanu. This is the reason why I missed that debate y'all did earlier, because I overslept. You know what I'm saying? Hold on 1 second. It was productive though, what I was doing, but one thing I did notice is that every time the topic of behavior modification comes up, that is a short conversation. A short conversation indeed. On Clubhouse, they'll argue back and forth about doctrine, but the second you start talking about how we need to start acting better as believers, like just behaving, it's never a debate or a controversy there. Everybody just get quiet because they know they can't be debated, right? So that kind of gave me the ideal to talk about this today. Also piggyback from last week. Are we good on everything else, Mr. Gideon, sir? We good to go? Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? I'm gonna X this out.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
I hear you loud and clear.
Yeah. Gideon might have walked away. I was talking about we on YouTube. I know Tom, you probably got everything set up in Killebrew. Yo, Gideon, can you hear me? While we waiting on Gideon, what's up with you, Kevin J, man? How everything going with you?
Shabbat Shalom. It is going well, my friend. Very well. We had a mock debate this morning to wake me up. And then we had that was Isaiah. It was a team debate. Isaiah and Brother Jude versus Stanley and Kel. Did God give the church to Rome? It was a great debate. It was a great way to start, start the Shabbat. And then we did an Old Testament study. My man, Prototype, came in. He actually showed up to the debate as well. He also sat in on our Old Testament read as well. So it was really, really good to see him come in and holler at us for a few. And now we're here. All praise to the Most High God. Good to see everyone. ABT fam, BRC Ministries, everyone. Gideon, thanks for providing this platform as well. To the good brother Josh. But yeah, man, it's been great.
Praise God. Praise God. And Mr. Jeff, how you doing today, man?
Peace, brother. Peace to the brothers on the panel, and also Sister Keanu. I'm doing well. Great to be here with you, brothers, and I'm just looking forward to where this topic is going, because I have no idea. Won't even try to guess.
Yeah. I hear you. Jeff said, "Don't even ask, bro, because I'm letting you know right now. I don't know. Don't even bother asking." Jeff is a born tactician, y'all. So I'm going and beat him to the punch.
I tried.
What do you? What do you think, though, Kevin J? And what do you think I'm going with this one?
I'm going to pass and give this to Sister Keanu. No, I mean, honestly, man, the four FATES, man. I'm kind of with Jeff. I'm not really sure. I'm thinking that part of me is saying like the fleshly fate of our existence, our fleshly existence, and our spiritual fate. But that's only two. But that's about the best I can do right now, brother. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, honestly.
Y'all have gotten good at being able to guess in the neighborhood where I'm going with this, right? And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But
I might be in the alley. I'm in the alley. You know, I might not be on point, but I'm in the alley around the corner.
Jeff said he'll settle for the zip code.
You know what I'm saying? I'm way up in that. It's just fine.
Right.
Jeff said if I'm just in the zip code, I'm satisfied. Right? Sister Keanu. How you doing today, sister? Sister Keanu, are you there?
I'm so sorry. I was double muted. Can you turn that down, please? I am great. I have been awake since 8:30, 9 o'clock. So I did not get to sleep in today. And since I was up, Brother Josh, you should have been up too. But no, I've had a very, very edifying Shabbat, going from the debate with the brothers, then going over to BRC for the first time and listening to them. And then now I'm here. I have heard nothing but word all day. And I am genuinely in a very good mood.
I'm glad to hear it. That's how we're supposed to always enter into this rest, in a good mood. And Gideon, are you back? How are you doing today, sir? How everything going with you? Yo, I know, man, you were busy this week, man. Busy. You know what I'm saying? Putting in that work. I'm just going to start calling it what it is. Making these streets safer for our children. You follow what I'm saying? You can't put a price on that. Even though Gideon does with the membership, but that's a different topic. But y'all know what I'm talking about, man. Right? Praise God, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is still obviously using this man, right? And he's going to continue to use him. That is my hope and my prayer, right? Be a light, because y'all know, in light of recent events with another famous YouTuber, like more now than ever, these influencers, because y'all know what I do. When I look at people's videos, I do more than watch the video. I go into the comment section and I see what people talking about in the comment section. And yes, he has taken some people down with him. Just read the comment section. They'll let you see that for themselves, right? And it's sad too. It's sad that, you know, somebody walk from this faith and you follow them. You just follow them wherever they go. See, I don't got a problem with somebody leading me to Jesus, but you ain't gonna lead me away from him. And that's the problem. We don't really have anybody leading us to places. We just have people leading us, right? So God forbid Gideon ever walk away from the faith and this is the end of all y'all faith. You follow what I'm saying? Or even me. You follow what I'm saying? So when you pedestalize somebody, that's what happened, right? But we're finna get into this. I'll tell me, can you see me okay? Keanu, I wiped my camera, my lens, before I got started. Am I clear to everybody?
You sure are.
Indeed. Crystal clear. That's what I'm talking about. Right? And I can't wait to hear about this mock debate after class. I'm very interested in that. Right? Training these people. Y'all gonna need it for what we got coming up in this world. But we're finna go ahead and get off into this. Right? Good afternoon, everybody. And welcome to another edition of The Absolute Truth. This is the Bible study that focuses on the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth concerning the Word of God, while leaving out all personal opinions, speculations, and beliefs. I'm Brother Joshua, and today reading for me, if I'm not mistaken, is Kevin J.
Correct, Tomundo. Yes, I am reading.
Indeed. Right? How you doing today, Kevin J?
Hey, man, I'm worked, but I'm ready. I got my water. I feel like I've been like talking all day, but I'm ready, man. I'm ready, man. I'm ready to finish this Sabbath off in a great way. I want to finish it off how it started. So I'm glad to be here, man, as usual.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And you know, we love your presence and appreciate everything that you do for this ministry. And I look forward to any and all commentary you have on today's study. And based on today's topic, you're going to have plenty to say. And also joining us is another man who's been part of ABT almost since its inception. This is the one, the only, Brother Jeff. Go ahead, Jeff.
Peace, my brother. Shabbat shalom to all the elders, teachers, and students. Waiting for you to break this class down, and also waiting to see my brother Kev, like brother Tommy Simmons broke it down. The brother got a great ability to exhort and encourage, and I'm looking forward to his input as well.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Praise God. And of course, you know, we appreciate everything you do for this ministry as well, and any and all input you may have on today's class, which I think you definitely will. And of course, last but not least is the matriarch of the Simmons family. Every time I put an S on there, that represents another kid they're gonna have. Right now, they about up to 8. Right, she's also the co-teacher of Mint Ministries. Y'all make sure y'all tune in every night of the week for their Bible study. This is the one, the only Sister Keanu, aka Neo from the Matrix. Go ahead, Sister Keanu, the wisdom of Thomas.
Shabbat shalom, everybody. And I am so happy to be here and to piggyback off of what Kevin J just said, ready to end the day the same way that it started. Let's get it.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And of course, we appreciate everything you do for this ministry. And I look forward to any and all input you may have on this study as well. So we're going to get off into this. The title of today's class is The 4 Fates. That's right. You heard correctly. Today's class is titled The 4 Fates. And I decided to do this particular study because piggybacking off the study we did last week titled Why God, we focus heavily on how the troubles and tribulations of this world can make a believer lose his faith. And we were talking about you know, what happened with young Dunn, and how he wasn't totally wrong for expressing how he feels about why he left. These are honest feelings that we all have had and do have and will continue to have as believers, and nobody should ever be condemned or criticized for just having normal human emotions, right? But that also got me to thinking about something that I think is being neglected to be taught in Christianity. Because what Christians like to do when they try to bring people into the faith, they tend to, you know, they hype it up, which they should. They tell you about the good things of Jesus, which they should. And they tell you about all the benefits of the faith, which they should. But more often than not, what most Christian churches do, no matter the denomination, they don't tell you what you're getting into. They don't tell you what it means to be a Christian. They don't. Oh, by the way, Gideon, you got a hot mic. You know, we picking you up every now and then. So you might want to mute yourself. Appreciate it. Right? They don't really tell you what you're getting into. So a lot of people, when they become Christians for a while, they feel good about it, right? But then when stuff started going on, they like, wait a minute, nobody told me there would be days like this. Nobody told me that this is part of the belief system. So people feel duped. They feel disappointed. And quite frankly, they feel like they signed a contract without reading the fine print, right? But there's no fine print, because fine print means small print. In the Bible, it's printed in the same size as everything else that they like to show you about the benefits of being a Christian. But one thing that we need to know as believers is that when you decide to accept this word, there are one of 4 fates that await you. No more than that. 4. There are 4 possibilities, right? Only 4. And when we use the word fate, we're talking about how you're going to end up, your destiny or your destination, right? And many of you have read this parable before, and we've talked about it, the parable of the sower. And we're going to get deep into that. And in my honest opinion, this should be the introductory parable to anybody who is new in the faith, and a reminder to anybody who has been in the faith for a while. This should be a reminder, because a lot of people, when they get into this, they don't think I'm going to end up one of these 4 ways, right? I'm going to end up as one of these 4 ways. Everybody's going to fall under one of these 4 categories. And it's only referring to people who receive the word. It ain't talking about no atheists who never accepted the word to begin with. Although most atheists, like 99.9% atheists, were born some kind of believer. I don't know too many people. I know there are people out there, but I don't know too many people who teach atheism to their kids, from the time they're born and can understand. Most people who are atheists today, 99.9% of people who are atheists today, made a conscious decision at some point in their life to stop believing in God or the supernatural. They were not born that way. Atheists are not born. They are made. Right? You might say, well, it's the same thing with religion, Josh. Yes, but in most cases, somebody going to teach their child some kind of religion. So when you walk in out in this world and you come across an atheist, understand that 99.9% of the time, that's a former believer. Do everybody understand that? Before we move on, I want to make sure everybody understand that. Do y'all understand that that is a former believer? There's not somebody who's only known atheism their entire life. And that's how you have to look at them, because that's what they were, right? But once you understand that, once you accept this word, there is only one of 4 ways you're going to deal with it, then you will take this more seriously. Jesus warned the apostles and all his other followers of the downside. Yes, I said that word right. Of the downside of following him. He didn't just tell you all the good stuff. Yeah, he talked about, in my Father's house are many mansions and all that other good stuff. And whoever believe on me shall have eternal life. See, that's the selling points of Christianity. That's all they like to tell you when you first get into this. And before we read the first verse, I just gotta do a consensus. And I want y'all to be honest with me. How many of you, when you first got introduced, if you can remember, because some of us can't even remember, when you first got introduced to Christianity or decided personally, I'm going to start trying to follow God, how many of you were told by your pastors or by your friends or whoever brought you into this, how many of you was told you, yo, it's going to be hell being a Christian? Y'all tell me in the chat and on the stage. How many people were told that? If you were told that.
I was told 5 years old that you could possibly lose your life for serving God, but I had like a different upbringing.
You were raised as a Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah, so we pretty much from the jump, yeah.
Right, Jehovah's Witness, they gonna tell you straight up, right? But look at the chat. What about you, Keanu? Were you told that from the very beginning?
No.
Kevin J? You're muted, Kevin J.
There we go. No, I was not. They didn't say that.
And Gideon, if you are available, did they tell you that? Right. So, like 2 out of 70 people. So 68 people were never told that. That's pathetic. That's bad, right? That's an F. That's an F minus if we were doing it by grade, right? And see, the reason why I took this little survey here is because I wanted to show y'all that it's crazy how they don't tell you that. Now, be honest. Anything else in life, remove your religion from it. Anything else in life, if somebody sold it to you, wouldn't you be upset if you later found out that there are downsides to this product that they didn't tell you about? Chat, stage, anybody, clubhouse. Wouldn't you be upset if they didn't tell you that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right? You would feel like you got scammed. Like, yo, you didn't tell me this. Right? And this is why this class, the 4 fates, is important. Because I'm letting y'all know everything that comes with this. So if you start feeling down or pressured or having doubts, you're already prepared for it. I'm not selling this to you as it's gonna all be, like I said last week, unicorns and fairy dust. I'm not selling it to y'all like that. I'm branding it to you as it is. I'm telling you, yes, the benefits outweigh the drawbacks, but the drawbacks are big. Y'all understand that? Somebody in chat said, and puppies. Yeah, and puppies. Unicorns, fairy dust, and puppies. Right? So what we're going to do first, we're going to start out in the Apocrypha, and we're going to go to Sirach 2 and 1. Also known as Ecclesiasticus. The whole name of the book is The Wisdom of Jesus, the son of Sirach. Not Jesus Christ, but another guy named Jesus who lived before Jesus did. Jesus was a very common name among the Israelites. Most commonly known to us in English as Joshua. Yes, Joshua and Jesus is the same name. A lot of people don't know that. Right? So this is Sirach, chapter 2, verse 1. When you get there, Kevin J., read, please.
This is Sirach chapter 2, verses 1. It says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Now look at what this is saying. And it's a shame that the Apocrypha is not in most King James Version Bibles, because every Christian needs to know this. Every believer, they need to know, if you come to serve the Lord, prepare yourself to be tempted. Temptation here means tested.
Yep.
It can also mean trials. See, what I like about this book, and this is in the 2nd chapter too, Kevin J. Did you notice this is in the 2nd chapter? He didn't wait till we got all the way to chapter 30 and let you know that. He letting you know right at the beginning. See, that's an honest salesman. I'm letting you know up front, when you prepare yourself to serve the Lord, when you come to serve the Lord, prepare yourself for temptation. That means you're going to be tempted in the form of trials. You're going to be tempted in the form of actual temptation by the devil. Prepare yourself. But we're not being taught that. Everybody, oh, Jesus, they in the church, pray, oh, Lord, Lord. They only show you the good side of this. And you join thinking that's all there is to it. And then when you face trials and temptations in life, they don't have any answers for you. Even though the answers are in the scriptures, they don't have any answers for you. So you're like, what am I doing? Why am I a part of this? This ain't really helping me. This is not really benefiting me. Y'all didn't tell me it was going to be like this. Y'all didn't tell me that if I became a Christian, I really have to make some changes. You didn't tell me that. You made me think Jesus loves me no matter how I am. That is not true. Jesus talked about throwing people in hell. If that's some love, that's some tough love. Nobody is telling you this. Nobody is telling you that when you become a Christian, a believer, a real follower of Christ, nobody is telling you that it's going to be times where you're going to have to forsake some people.
Josh.
You're going to have to cut ties with some people. Right? And then you learn about that and you're like, wait, my pastor didn't tell me that. So you get mad at the belief system itself, and even worse, like Young Dunn did, and many others. He ain't the first person to do this, by the way, y'all. He's just the most relevant right now. But he's not by far the first person to do this. Even worse, you get mad and you turn on the faith and start attacking it because you feel like you were tricked. That's what you feel like. Because nobody told you up front. And Jesus tells you the same thing. He told people up front, this is not going to be easy. The belief system itself is light. Jesus said, my burden is light. The belief system itself is light, but the persecution and the temptations that come with the religion, that's what makes it hard. See, if the rest of the world just left us alone, say, okay, y'all Christians, whatever, we're not going to mock you, we're not going to persecute you, we're not going to try to kill you, we're just going to let you do you, then everybody would probably be a Christian. But a lot of people, they cannot handle the pressure of being a true Christian. They can't handle it. Everybody's not built to be a Christian. We make Christianity seem like it's just this easy thing. No, it's not. It's hard to be righteous in a wicked world.
Mm.
And some people, as Christians, they realize that and they like, yo, I quit. And that's what they do. So this is why this is called the four fates, because we're going to read what Jesus himself says happens to every believer when they get this word. You listening right now, all of you is going to end up in one of these four fates. And here's a little spoiler up front. It's only one fate that's good. The other three jacked up. Yes, sir. Yeah, I said that. Yeah, you use a way. Yeah, but they don't. But yes, we did. We did. That's right. And I'm going into more detail to show y'all some stuff, right? But remember, I told you that, GDR, in that one-on-one session. I'm glad you remember that too. That all of us is going to fall into one of these four categories. All of us. And I'm going to show y'all something very scary about this, because they don't tell you this as a Christian. They just tell you saved and you're good. That's what almost all denominations do. They just say you're saved and you're good. If it was that simple, why would there even be four fates? Y'all understand what I'm saying? If it was that simple, why would it even be four fates? Four destinies. Let's go. Let's go to Matthew 13.
You didn't want to read two, right? Or were we just reading one there?
No, not yet. Not yet. Nope, not yet.
Okay, so Matthew 13.
Mm-hmm. Matthew 13. And we're going to read verses 1 to 9. Because see, when I heard about what happened with Young Dunn, first from Gideon, because I probably would have never known unless it just came up my algorithm, that made me think about this. And it made me think about y'all. And it made me think about myself. This is going to happen to all of us, y'all. One of these four categories is going to happen to all of us. Once you know that, that should shake you, not shake your faith, but shake you into like, wow. And there's only one good outcome of the four. Three of them are jacked up. But I'm gonna let you see that for yourself. This is Matthew 13, 1-9. And a lot of y'all have read this before, but I'm going to show y'all some stuff that you may have overlooked. Go ahead and read.
This is Matthew chapter 13, verse 1. And the same day went Jesus out of the house and sat by the seaside. And great multitudes were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat. And the whole multitude stood on the shore.
So the first thing I want to point out to y'all is that this is not a private discussion right here with him and his disciples. He's saying this in front of multitudes. I mean, large crowds, thousands. Y'all understand that? So this ain't some type of secret information, not this part, that he's keeping just to the disciples. He's saying this parable in front of a lot of people. Continue.
3. And he spake many things unto them in parables, saying, Behold, a sower went forth to sow.
Mm-hmm.
And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up.
And it said he spake many things unto them in parables. It's like a riddle, right? He said, Behold, a sower went forth to sow. That word sow just means like somebody who planting something, like you're planting the seed, right? So a planter went forth to plant, right? It says, and when he sowed, when he planted, some seeds fell by the wayside. That word is also translated like path. They just fell on the path. And the fowls, meaning the birds, came and devoured them up. Y'all know birds eat seeds. That's why you got some called bird seeds. Right? So before these seeds can even go into the ground and grow, continue.
It's Matthew 13 and 5. Some fell upon the stony places, where they had not much earth, and forthwith they sprung up, because they had no deepness of earth.
Then it said some fell upon stony places. You know you can't plant a seed inside of a rock. Right? They had not much earth. I mean, it wasn't enough soil. And forthwith they sprung up because they had no deepness of earth. Notice it said deepness. It wasn't enough soil among there for the roots for the seed to sink deep into the soil and grow. So it had no root, right? Read verse 7. I saw verse 6.
6. And when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered away.
So they began to grow, but because they had no root, they withered away. The sun baked them to the point of them withering away. This is what Jesus wants all of us to know. Continue.
7. And some fell among the thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them.
Right, it says, and some fell among the thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. Right, and if you look up that word in the Greek, Kevin J, it literally means strangled. Like somebody grabbing you by the throat and strangling you. Right? Verse 8.
8. But others fell into good ground and brought forth fruit, some 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 30-fold.
It said, but other fell into good ground, good soil, and brought forth fruit, some in 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 30-fold. So various amounts of fruit. Notice that this is the only good scenario. The previous three are bad, aren't they, Kevin J?
Yes, sir.
Do everybody see that the previous three scenarios with these seeds are bad? Do everybody see that? That's a 1 in 4 chance. 25% if you want to get statistic wise. Right? And this is going to happen to all of us. One of these. Y'all going to see. Read verse 9.
9. Who have ears to hear, let him hear.
Who have ears to hear, let him hear. Whenever you see Jesus say something like that in the Bible, that means I'm only talking to people who want to listen. That's what that means. That's who the message is for. The ones who want to hear it. And see, that's how my message is. My message is only for people who want to hear it. If you don't want to hear it, if you don't want to hear it, then why are you here? See, that's the question y'all got to start asking people. If you don't want to hear it, why are you here? Or why are you bringing it here? That's how you're supposed to do it. Because you got a lot of people who don't have the ears to hear, but yet they're here. And that's why Jesus said this to a multitude of people. It's only for the people who want to hear it. But now he's going to explain the meaning of this parable. Skip down and read verses 18 and 19.
This is Matthew 13 and 18. Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not, then cometh the wicked one and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which received the seed by way of Simon.
Now I want y'all to pay attention to this, to what you're reading here. It said, when anyone heareth the word of the kingdom, y'all know that's the gospel, right? And understandeth it not. This is one part that even people who read this parable overlook. It said, understandeth it not, right? Then come the wicked one, which we know is Satan, and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. So the word is planted in your heart. But what allowed the wicked one to come and catch it away, Kevin J? What did they say? Allow? Lack of understanding. Lack of understanding. Do everybody see that? Did everybody catch that in the chat, on the stage? Did everybody catch that? How do you get understanding? How do you get understanding? You got to care about context, right? You got to care about and be honest about what the word is saying. How many, y'all tell me this now, how many Christians do y'all really can honestly say when they read this Bible, they care about context?
Oh, man, please.
Y'all tell me in the chat. How many of them really care about context? How many Israelites care about context? How many Muslims care about context? They don't care about context. And without context, you cannot have understanding. That's just common sense. You need context with everything in life that you're dealing with if you're trying to understand it. You need context. If me and Gideon was having a phone conversation and y'all didn't have any context, and y'all heard me say to Gideon, oh man, Gideon, you killing me, man. Somebody without context might think he's literally killing me. So we got to contextualize our conversation and what I meant. Oh, Gideon said something funny. And I was like, man, Gideon, you killing me, man. See the importance of context? This is how Christians read the Bible, though. They don't care about context. So notice in the first category, what allowed Satan to catch away that which was planted in their hearts is because they didn't understand. Now, some of y'all might be saying, well, Josh, that's not fair. God gonna let these people get taken by Satan just because they didn't understand the word? Don't the word need to be understood? That's not fair. But I'm going to show y'all in a minute that this is voluntary misunderstanding. This ain't somebody who hears the word and really wants to understand it and God just don't give them the wisdom and Satan gets them. No. These are people who make it a point to not understand the word. Willfully ignorant, yes. This is how Satan got a lot of Christianity. And the funny thing about this, when y'all read all these categories, this is the real scary part. None of them say that when these people fall away, they openly tell the world. None of these scenarios say when they fall away, they're going to do what Young Dunn did and just be like, yo, I'm done with it. Young Dunn did the world a favor by letting people know openly and admitting, I'm done with this. But most people who are in the same situation as he is right now are still claiming to be Christians and believers. See, that's the scary part. Y'all read this and y'all think it's going to be, okay, we're done with it. Falling away does not mean admitting that you fell away. Not everybody's going to admit it. That's my point. Meaning you can be in one of these 4 scenarios or 3 of the bad ones and not even know it. You still think you good, right? It didn't say the ones that don't understand are going to let the world know, hey, I don't understand. No, these people still think they're in the truth. See, nobody ever points this stuff out. You may be in category number 1, and well, he ain't talking about me because I ain't fell away. I still believe in Jesus. But do you believe in him with understanding? Do you believe the gospel with understanding? Because that lack of understanding will make you fall away. Not openly admit that you're done, but spiritually, the wicked one has you. But let me show you that this is voluntary misunderstanding, not just general ignorance. Like, I just don't know. Will somebody show me? Still in the same chapter. Go up and read verses 14 and 15, and you're going to see that Jesus tells his disciples why he's speaking to them in parables. Everybody, and only explaining this parable to his selected few. Watch what it says. 14 and 15.
This Matthew 13, verse 14. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which saith, by hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive.
Now it says Isaiah's prophecy about these people that Jesus was dealing with in his day, the unbelieving Jews. Their unbelief was a fulfillment of prophecy. But look what it said. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which saith, by hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand. Right? And he's going to tell you why. And seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive. That means you won't know. So all this about them not understanding. But why don't they understand? Read the next verse.
15. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them.
It said, for this people's heart is waxed gross. That word gross means fat. And some translations translate it as thick. I prefer the thick translation, but you get what you can get, right? It says, for this people's heart is waxed gross. That's what you get the term stout-hearted from. It's another way of saying arrogant, right? It says, this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing. It's like they're deaf. And their eyes they have closed. They've closed their own eyes. They've stopped up their own ears, lest at any time, or else at any time they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears and should understand with their heart. Remember, the seed is sown in their heart. and should be converted, and I should heal them. So it's telling you right here that the category of the people who receive the word and don't understand it is not just because they don't understand, because they're ignorant, they really want to know, and they just can't understand it. This is an understanding that they don't want to have. This is somebody who hears the word and they stop up their ears. The word is in their heart, but they stop up their ears and they close their eyes. They don't really want to understand the word as it is written. They don't want to understand the gospel as it is taught in the Bible. So Satan has them. And I bet when you just pause to think about this, Kevin J, it's a lot of Christians and Christian denominations that come to mind.
Oh, yeah.
And see, y'all thought that everybody who falls away from this word or turns their back on this word is going to go on social media and announce it. Let everybody know. No, that's not how this goes, y'all. Young Dunn is a rarity. He's a rarity. And I got to give him props because he's admitting that I'm done with this. This ain't for me. He ain't out here faking it like everybody else. You got to respect the realness, don't you, Kevin J?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
You got to respect the realness, bro. And that's what a lot of people do. Like when they open, they say, I can't keep lying to myself about this. I know I'm not feeling this. But the reason why, even in his case, is because he didn't want to understand it. And when this gospel is presented to a lot of people, they don't like everything it says. So they make it a point to not get the true meaning. See, understanding is a big part of the gospel. See, Christians don't tell you that. They just like, just have faith and you're once saved, always saved. If you're once saved, always saved, the word came to all of these people and it tells you they believed it. You don't read anything about in any of these scenarios that we're going to read about anybody faking it. All of these people genuinely believed because it said the word was sown in their hearts. But you can genuinely believe, but still not like what you're hearing.
Mm-hmm.
And now Satan came and took you away. And y'all walking around here thinking it's going to be a bunch of atheists in this category saying, no, and misunderstanding scripture. No, it don't say nothing about anybody admitting that they fell away. But read the next scenario.
You want me going to 16?
Go back. I'm sorry. Go back, if you will, please, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, matter of fact, no. You just read 14 and 15, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, do me a favor. Let's deal with this understanding thing a little bit more. Let's go to Proverbs 18 and 2. Then we'll go back.
Uh-oh. Okay. So, Josh, is this safe to say so far, though? And when you mention that Christianity, because I've heard a lot of Christians use not understanding as an excuse not to grow. Like they ask me, why do I do? Well, why you keep the Sabbath? Why why don't you celebrate this or that? Or why you wear fringes? And then I tell them, and they shake it off. Like, oh, well, that's too deep, or they use an excuse of not understanding as a way out to not want to do what you're supposed to do. That's what I got.
That's that category. That's that category.
Yeah. That's right.
That's somebody who hear the word and don't understand it. And Jesus let you know early on why they don't. They don't stop up their ears, close their eyes, and close their minds. See, that's why I don't have any patience for people that come up in here and try to act like they don't see what I'm showing them. You see it, but you don't want to see it. You understand what it would mean, but you don't want to understand it. I come across people like that all the time. And y'all, I don't want nobody to think that everybody who falls into one of these bad categories is going to be self-identify, like they're going to let you know I'm done with the faith. No, they're going to be sitting right next to you, acting like they're still in it. But Jesus never said in this parable that they're going to openly admit or deny the faith. He never said that. So we shouldn't be looking for that. We should just be looking for the attributes.
Hey, I like what Kel said. God hasn't given me that understanding. Oh my goodness, I heard that one a lot.
Right. And they're telling the truth all that. God haven't given them understanding because they don't want it.
Exactly.
Do you ever ask yourself why God didn't give it to you?
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't God want his faithful servant to understand his word? If God don't want his faithful servant to understand his word, then that must mean you ain't his faithful servant.
That hurt. That
ain't how God operates. When the Bible promises everybody who tries to genuinely seek God that he will reveal himself to him. That's what the Bible says. God haven't given me that understanding. How you know God ain't trying to give you that understanding now through me? If you ain't heard about it before now, you're hearing about it from me. See, we don't understand that God is a practical God. Everybody want to get all supernatural when you catch them up somewhere. They want to retreat to their personal relationship with God. I hate when people do that. Mm-hmm. You can't verify that. Well, God told me. God ain't told you nothing. Not audibly. You actually heard God's voice? And if you did hear a voice, there are people in this world, they hear voices in their heads all the time. They're called schizophrenics. We call them schizos. So just because you hear a voice talking to you don't automatically mean it's God. People sometimes forget the devil talks to you too. Why every time we hear something talking or in our heads, we automatically assume it's God?
Come on, somebody. Come on.
Why we always do that? Well, God told me. Well, if God told you that, does it line up with what the scriptures say, how God operates? Because God talks to us through the Holy Spirit. So how do I know God is talking to me or is he talking to Kevin? Even if I didn't hear an actual voice. How do I know? Because what he's telling me should line up with how he said he operates. So if it don't line up with that, that ain't God talking to you. That's either the devil talking to you or you talking to yourself. That's what that is. So when you bag somebody into a corner, they want to try to retreat to something that can't be verified by anybody but them. We got to have what is known as third-party verification. Third-party verification means outside of you, we need proof that what you're saying is legit. That's how a lot of people dupe Christians today. Christians don't ask for third-party verification. Somebody just jump up and say, the Lord talked to me. Well, I didn't hear him, but I'm just going to believe it. And the third-party verification would be either God himself telling you the same thing he told that person or the word of God, the Bible. That's our third-party verifications 99.9% of the time. And people get real offended when you just don't take their word for, I don't know you, dude. You know how many people can walk in here and claim God talked to them? How do I distinguish you from everybody else? What's the difference? How do I know you're right and they're wrong or vice versa? I don't. So when people say God hasn't given me that understanding, so now you're making it an issue between just you and God. That's what you're trying to do. I can't verify that. Maybe God is trying to give you understanding and you don't want to receive it. So y'all got to look out for these excuses because, Christians got more excuses than somebody going to jail. They do. Christians got a lot of excuses. They got a lot. You know what I'm saying? For everything. I'm not trying to hear that. And they get mad at me because I'm just past that. No, I don't want to hear your excuses. Right? That's why I can't stand modern day Christianity. You follow what I'm saying? I think that's one thing me and Young Dunn got in common.
Mm.
You feel me? But I'm just telling y'all, I can't stand modern day Christianity. I can't. It's fake. It is. And the people in it are fake. I'm not saying you're supposed to be perfect. I'm not looking for perfection from people. But fallible does not mean fake. Fallible just means you're human. You can make mistakes. You're trying. You're going to make errors on your way. That's what fallible means. Fake means you're not even really trying. You're just pretending like you are. We need to understand the difference between the two, and we don't. So somebody jumps up and says, hey, the Lord spoke to me. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. Even when the prophets claim that the Lord spoke to them, they had proof. What they said the Lord told them would happen. So now I believe you. And they will represent the true and living God, because it ain't just enough for somebody to tell you a prediction and it comes to pass. They also got to be representing the God of this Bible and not a false God, not a false God. And Christians don't ask for credentials. They don't ask for third-party verification. That's how so many of these different denominations jump up, and that's why we got so many different denominations. God cannot simultaneously be speaking to all of these founders of these denominations. They're all doing something different. God is speaking to all of them, telling them all different stuff. Either God is only speaking to one of them and the rest of them are talking to the devil, or God ain't speaking to none of them and the devil talking to all of them. But it can't be God talking to all of them. Can't be. I can't believe that as Christians, that ain't never bothered a lot of y'all. When you got old enough to understand that there are other different denominations out there, that should bother a lot. That should shake a lot of Christians once they mature to the point where they realize, there are like tens of thousands of other belief systems out here. Like, you don't got the other Christianity. That should make your heart skip a beat. And y'all just sit there complacent. Well, I know I got the right one. Yeah, just like you believe you had them right numbers when you played the lottery and not one of your numbers you picked fell. You follow what I'm saying? Everybody think they got it right. Come on now. Ain't no way. What are the odds of you being born into the right one? And then when I do research, I find out that your religion got a founder and it ain't Jesus. So that automatically means it's wrong. If it got a founder, it ain't it. Let's go ahead and just disqualify that one right now. But this ain't the type of stuff Christianity teach you when you sign up. They don't tell you that. Well, I'm a Calvinist. Okay. I don't remember Jesus telling nobody to be no Calvinist or anybody in the Bible named Calvin. You know what I'm saying? But okay, you do you. And they look at you like you crazy. I'm Eastern Orthodox. Okay, when were we told to be Eastern Orthodox? When were we told that? I didn't get the memo on that in the scriptures. When were we told to do that? I'm Roman Catholic. The word Catholic is not even in the Bible. Nobody's even named Catholic. It's not even named after an individual. When were we told to be Catholics? Like, seriously. Nobody's asking these pertinent questions because there ain't nobody concerned about them four faiths, Kevin.
Yep.
Ain't nobody concerned about them. But this is Proverbs 18:2. Read that.
This is Proverbs chapter 18, verse 2. A fool have no delight in understanding, but that his heart may discover itself.
It says a fool have no delight in understanding, but that his heart may discover itself. What this means is fools don't desire to get the understanding of anything. They just want to speak what's on their mind. They just want to tell you what they think. Remember I said it's a form of arrogance when it said their hearts wax gross.
Yeah.
See, this is another reason, Kevin J, why these people fall into that category. They have no delight in understanding. In other words, they don't want to understand. They don't. Y'all don't see people coming here plenty of times, and I'm walking them down with the scriptures. They can't dispute what the verse say, then we get to the conclusion, no, that ain't what they're saying. You have no delight in understanding. You just want to be heard. Like that guy that came here last week. Oh, you just scared. You're scared. You know what I'm saying? Read Psalms 22. Did he read Psalms 22? Everybody in the chat, yeah, he read it. Well, read it again. For what? That's a prophecy talking about Jesus. He said that when he first went there. Let me on the stage. You see what I'm saying? No delight in understanding, just want to be heard. That's a problem. And when you have people like that, that leads to division, and that's why we got all these denominations.
Hey, Johnson,
Kevin, go ahead.
Did you say that was arrogant?
Yes.
Hey,
it's a form of arrogance.
Can I read that in the Good News, or was you planning on doing that?
Which one?
That Proverbs 18:2.
No, I wasn't going to read another translation. Go ahead.
It says this: a fool does not care whether he understands a thing or not. All he wants to do is show how smart he is. Amen.
See?
That, brother. Good news.
That's good news. That's gospel.
That's good news.
He just want to show how smart. And this is the characteristics of a fool. How many people y'all seen come up in here? They ain't trying to hear anything. They just want to show off how smart they are. How many times y'all don't see people do this? Right? That means he's in that first category. Satan already got him. Y'all got to understand, in the four fates, Satan already got people who still think they're Christians. This is why on Judgment Day, Jesus is going to say, I never knew you.
Yep.
He's saying this to people who thought they were Christians. He's not saying this to atheists. Ain't no atheists on Judgment Day going to be saying, we preached in your name and done many wonderful works in your name. Those are Christians on Judgment Day making these claims, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
That means they thought they had it. They thought they had it. Why? Because they didn't consider the four fates and they didn't look at the characteristics. You don't want to die and get on Judgment Day and start bragging to Jesus about everything you've done in his name. He'd be like, I never even knew you.
Mm-hmm.
How can you say that, Lord? You didn't even understand my gospel. You holding that against me? Yeah, because you didn't want to understand it. Y'all understand that? He ain't gonna be like, I didn't understand, Lord. Okay, my child, I understand. You really wanted to know. You never got that understanding. You just died in ignorance. You are forgiven. That's what he's going to say to people who just died in genuine ignorance, who just didn't have a chance to know. But the ones who made it a point to not understand, when they ask him, are you going to punish us for not understanding your word? He's going to say yes, because you didn't want to understand. Some people not looking for understanding. They try to act like they are. No, you're not. You don't want to understand it. You just want to show off how smart you are. You just want your opinion. Matter of fact, Kevin J., read that in another translation, since you open up that can of worms. Please, Chair Gideon. He only wants to show off his opinion. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's the whole. Mm-hmm. And that's modern day Christianity. Modern day Christianity is nothing but a bunch of strife, confusion, and arguments. That's what that is. That's what and it's the same thing with the Israelites and the Muslims. Everybody wants to. Mhm. Exactly. It's always I got to weigh in on something. That's the attitude, Gideon. I got to weigh in on this, right? You don't want to be that dude who always got something to say about everything. That's how some people are, right? That's not how I am. A lot of times y'all ask me about stuff going on. I didn't even know what was going on. Y'all got to bring stuff to my attention because I really got tunnel vision when it comes to this ministry. And what I mean by that is all I see is y'all. That's the only people I care about. Y'all and potential y'alls. That's it. I don't care about anybody else. That's how we're supposed to be. I am accountable to y'all. I don't care what anybody else outside of this ministry think about me. I really don't. And that's how it's supposed to be. You're only supposed to care about people, what they think, the ones who support you. I care what Gideon thinks. I care what Keanu thinks. Kevin J, Truth Seeker, Nautica, Auntie Steph. Y'all will never hear me say to any one of y'all, if y'all tell me what y'all think, I don't care what you think. Unless one of y'all fly off the handle and get away from the word. But even if y'all just telling me, giving me some advice on trying to make things better and easier, I'm not gonna say, well, Keanu, I don't care what you think. Keanu will tell you. I was talking to her earlier this week in text about the t-shirt thing, right? And I told her I didn't do a Bible study because I'm trying to figure out how to get these people their t-shirts that they ordered. Keanu told me about a site. I started using that site, and people will tell you I've been hitting them up saying your shirt on the way, right? In other words, I cared about what she thought, and I applied it. I'm like, well, thank you, Keanu, but I really don't care what you think about this. I ain't really want your opinion on it. I'll just let you know why I ain't no Bible study. I didn't do that. And that's what happened, Keanu. You told me about it, and everybody who I sent the message to, whose shirt's on the way, then I sent a message to y'all telling y'all shirt on the way. And some of y'all I told that Keanu is the one that put me onto it. And that's what happened, Keanu. Come off your mic. And that's what happened.
Yes, sir.
Because that's what I do. I care about what my people think. That's how it's supposed to be. Anybody outside of this ministry, and y'all should be the same way. If they ain't trying to help you in your walk or trying to support you in what you're doing, stop caring what people who are not doing anything for you think about you. That's how we're supposed to be in life, not just in this ministry. I don't like Brother Josh. When the last time you sent me a donation? Fool, I ain't never sent you no donation. Exactly. I don't care. I don't like Brother Josh. When the last time you shared some of my content and told people to come check me out? Fool, I ain't never did that. Exactly. But you want me to care what you think, though. Care cost. Let me say it again. 2 words. Put it in the chat. Write it down, Kevin Jake. I know you be writing down little stuff. This ain't a quote from my book. I'm just telling you. Care cost.
You know I do.
Meaning if you want somebody to care, that's going to cost you. You want me to care what you think? That's going to cost you something. Whether it's actual money, support, love, something. Care cost. And I'm talking about in the context of, people supporting what you're trying to do. I'm not talking about you can only care about like the homeless if you're getting paid or something. I'm not talking about in that context. I'm talking about if you're working on something like, Gideon, he's doing this predator catch. And, some people early on, they were hating on it, right? But if y'all ain't giving my boy no money, or y'all ain't sharing his content or telling other people to come check him out, then he don't care. So what's the cost of you caring? sending him money, sharing his content. Care cost. Remember that. And that's literal too. When you go to the hospital, what do they call that? Medical care. Does that cost, Kevin J?
Yep. Healthcare.
Healthcare. Right? Caretakers. Care cost. And it costs a lot. Remember that.
You ain't lying about that.
You know? So if you want me to care, it's going to cost you. You know, like when I say care about what you think about me, it's going to cost you. You got to be in. What it going to cost, say, Neon Lights? What it going to cost me, Josh? Some support. Come to class. Tell me you're learning. You're being edified. See, now I care what Neon Lights think. What it going to cost me, Josh? Janice? This Janice. What it going to cost me, Josh, for you to care? Sharing my stuff on Facebook, liking my links and stuff like that. See, now I care what Janice think. See, this is the mindset y'all got to have, y'all. And if you ain't paying the cost, I don't care. I'm just saying, I don't care. Somebody can come on here right now for the first time. Be like, man, Josh, I don't like you. I don't do you, whatever. Dude, I don't care what you say. Ching ching. Well, I just got this Cashapp notification. Oh, it's from the dude who just said that. Okay, continue. Proceed. Tell me what you got. Tell me your criticism, whatever. I'm listening. See, he paid that Cashapp. Now I care about what he got to say. That's how y'all supposed to be in this world. That's how you're supposed to function. That's how you get ahead. Right? Let's move on. I be trying to keep it real with him, Kevin J. Don't cut no corners. Matthew 13. Oh, man. That's why I don't understand how some of these celebrities start taking a dump on their own fans. Fans pay your bills, dude. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah. You
don't ever do no crap like that. You don't ever do that. Your fans are your supporters, right? Now, I'm always tell y'all the truth, you know, whether y'all support me or not, but I'm not going to get on here and just start going off on y'all for no reason. Shoot. I'm going to look at ain't nobody donating or nothing no more. In fact, somebody sent me a middle finger. You feel me? I don't know. We sabotage ourselves. No. You got to show people that you appreciate them. That's why I always remember, Kevin J, that conversation we had in the text message about why I said I be giving you your props like that, and I showed you that that's from the book.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The worst thing that can happen is one of y'all show up on the Sabbath day and you feel in your spirit, like genuinely, that Brother Josh don't appreciate nothing I do. That's my nightmare, that one of y'all actually feel like that. I even tell y'all, if y'all even start feeling like that, let me know so I can know what I need to do to make that feeling go away. Especially if you know you're doing a lot for this ministry. I don't want nobody ever be sitting up in here, Josh don't even see me, bro. He don't even see me. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. If that ever happens, you can come on this stage, put me on blast. If it's real, I would apologize to you in front of everybody, and I would make it my business to give you your props from that day forward. Not because you complaining or I'm just trying to appease you, because that's what I'm supposed to do. But everybody ain't got that privilege, Kevin J. Everybody wants you to care about what they feel on that same level. No, everybody ain't got that same level of care. I'm sorry. That's the world.
Not happening.
Right? Not happening. Keanu is a good woman and she got kids. But I bet if she had a choice to save one of her own children or somebody else's child, she gonna save her child. They don't make her an evil person. There's levels to this. You follow what I'm saying?
That's right.
That's what it is. Well, I ain't gonna save neither one of them because I don't. No, you save your baby. I'm sorry for your loss, ma'am, but I got to save mine. There's levels to this. When they get too real like that, then when the numbers start dropping in the audience, Kevin J. When they get too real.
A little up close person to that, brother.
When they get too real, bro. Right? This is Matthew 13. Look at this other category. We're gonna read verses 20 and 21. Read that.
13, 20. Okay. This is Matthew chapter 13, verses 20. The seed planted on rocky ground is the person.
You're in the other translation. You're still in the good news.
Hey, you know what, man? Let me get out this good news, man. That's my bag. Sorry, family.
Don't ever get out of the good news. Just get out the good news translation.
Yeah, they be on my grass in the chat.
Don't ever get out the good news. Just get out the good news translation.
Yeah, catch one in the chat big time. Okay, so we was at 13. I'm sorry.
Verse 20.
Okay, verse 20, my bag. But he that received the seed into stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth it.
Now, do me a favor, Kevin J, because you keep opening up this can of worms. I'm gonna let it stay open. Read that same verse in the good news, because I want y'all to know what anon means. Read it.
Let's go back to the good news.
Go back to the good news.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop myself for that one. Okay, this is Matthew 13 and 20 in the good news. The seeds that fell on rocky ground stand for those who receive the message gladly as soon as they hear it. Come on, somebody.
So these are the people that instantly rejoice when they hear the word. See, these are the people I watch the closest out of all of these categories. These are the ones that are all hyped in the beginning. Even when I first met Gideon, I wondered, because that's just what I do. I said, you know, this brother is real excited about this word right now. I wonder how he's gonna feel 6 months from now or a year. Because I don't came across plenty of people who in the beginning, they're real hyped up. They support me financially, give me a platform, all of that. 3 or 4 months later, they just start dying down. But I'm happy to say that Gideon is going on what, his 3rd year? Still going strong, ain't wavered one bit. Oh, 2nd year? Oh, 2nd year? It's been 2 years? Okay, yeah, 2 years, right?
Feel like 3 though.
Yeah. Because it was on what, 2023 when you first reached out to me? Okay, yeah. So yeah, this September 2025 will be 2 years. He going on 2 years, right? That's longer than 6 months. That's longer than a year, right? I see a lot of people. Shoot, bro. Some people been this 20 years and they fall away.
Come on, somebody.
So I'm not using a set amount of time to determine anything. What I'm just saying is I know people who start off real strong and happy at first. You follow what I'm saying? They start off real crunk, real extra excited, because not too many people, even people who still in this for real, don't have that same level of energy 20 years from now. You know, people just get old and they kind of just start winding down a little bit, right? Even though I've been a loose cannon from day one, y'all know I ain't changed at all. You know what I'm saying? Right? But what I'm saying is, this how some people do. You know, they get it at first. That's why I told y'all, and I don't told Jenny on this before in private. This is why I don't get all excited when people first get into this and they be all excited. I mean, I'd be happy for them, but I don't get all like, yeah, we got one. I be like, we'll see. You got to take the we'll see approach when it comes to new converts. Think about it, y'all. It's 94 people in this audience, but these 94 people in this audience ain't the same original 94 that we started out with. Now, is it? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. And a few new people who've become regulars, a few new people down the line that face. Yeah, Roy been roaring. He been roaring since day one. Right. 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 And that's with any denomination or ministry. Don't ever expect that the people that's there in the beginning gonna be the same crowd 5-10 years from now. That's with any denomination. It ain't just us. So we ain't throwing shots because that happens to everybody. But that's my point. That's why I don't get excited when people first come in here. Like, dude, I got like a 5-year minimum. And even what Gideon brought up something that I had said about Young Dunn that I even forgot about. Like I said, I ain't finna be going back and forth with somebody who 2 weeks from now ain't even gonna care about this. See, I look at time and commitment. That's what I look at. The Simmons family, 10 plus years, y'all. Kevin J, 6 or 7 years, if I'm not mistaken. Jeff, 9 or 10 years, right? Nothing is guaranteed, but come on, those are impressive track records. You know what I'm saying? Ariel, 10 plus years. Antoine, over 10 years. You follow what I'm saying? That's what I look at. That gives me peace of mind, right? There's gonna be a lot of people in every religion. It's gonna be some people like just passing through. I like what Kev of the Dust used to say. He said some people just making a cameo appearance in your life. I mean, they're not a main character. Y'all ever play? Let me talk to my gamers. Give me a W in the chat if you're a gamer. Okay, let me give y'all a little test. What's an NPC? What NPC stands for? Somebody tell me in the chat. Non-playable character. Exactly. A lot of people in this word in your life, they ain't nothing but a bunch of NPCs. And y'all know what an NPC is in the game? There are games you play, you go across, you run into the NPC character, and later on in the game, you never hear about them again. They just in that one level, right? After that, you never hear about them again. And y'all got it's a lot of NPCs in this walk, right? But read the rest of that. What else it says? It says, he immediately received it with joy, verse 21.
Verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 21. Yet hath he not root in himself, but dureth for a while. For when tribulation or persecution arises because of the word, and by he is offended.
Now, what do y'all think it means right here, particularly you, Kevin J? What do you think it means when it says he is offended? What do you think that means?
Because he's heard something that either he doesn't want to do or it's going to cause him some friction.
Right. See, and this is the thing with the King James that I tell y'all. Words in the King James don't necessarily always mean the same thing they mean now in modern day English. See, offended back here, Kevin J, it means to fall or to trip up or to stumble. Mm. So what this is saying is, yet he have no root in himself. That means he's not grounded.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. Okay.
Right? Have you ever tried to push a tree over? If you try to, why do y'all think, even if it's a small tree, why do you think you just can't push the tree over? Why do y'all think that? The roots. They're real strong. If a tree had no roots, or the roots didn't go that deep,
push it right over.
3 or 4 men could just go up against the biggest tree and just push it over. It'll just tilt and fall. That's what would happen. So these people have no roots, so they trip up. But Kevin James, I did have this in the class. We're going to read this in 2 other translations. Give me that good news first.
Give me that good news. This is Matthew 13 and 21 in the good news. But it does not sink deep into them, and they don't last long. So when trouble or persecution comes because of the message, they give up at once.
They give up at once. When persecution comes for the message, like people start attacking them for their belief system, they give up quick. They endure for a while. Right? They don't last that long because they're not rooted. And keep in mind that in all these scenarios, y'all, it's your fault. I want y'all to understand that in all 4 of these fates, it's on you. It's not something that God is just making happen to everybody. These are all the reactions that people have when they first get this word. So if they have no root, it's because they did not take root. So you became what we call today, you became a pushover. That's what a lot of y'all are. Y'all pushovers, just push you right over. Because you're not grounded. Why y'all think it's called grounded? Grounded literally means in the ground. Words have meaning. Let me ask you a question, Kevin J. Why do you think when a child gets punished and you put them on a punishment, they call it grounded? Anybody ever wondered that?
Can't go nowhere.
Well, kind of, but why do you think they call it grounded? No, Billster, that's not it. Humbling, exactly. Space.
Oh, right, space.
The grounded also means bringing something to the ground.
Oh,
so when you ground a child, you are humbling them for their bad behavior. That goes back to the Bible. We don't even understand that. Like you say, you're grounded. So what's the opposite of grounded, Kevin J?
Being free. Or
freeware. You right? Freeware. When you leave the ground, where are you at?
Oh, you're in the air. You up.
You're in the air. And what do they call somebody who's puffed up? They say you're putting on airs. Y'all ever heard that before?
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
And when the Bible talks about you being puffed up, if you look up that word in the Greek, it's like it's somebody taking in air. That's why they call it arrogant. What I always tell y'all about words, y'all. What I always say, Kevin J.
Got meaning.
Words got meaning. You got to ask yourself sometimes, why is it called grounded? What it got to do with the ground? The ground is below. I'm grounding this child. This child is rebelling. He's being arrogant. So I got to bring him down. Now you're grounded. Words have meaning. So right here, it says they instantly gave up. Now read that in the GW, God's word.
The GW.
These are your 4 fates, y'all. I hope y'all understand this. Read that.
Okay, this is Matthew 13 and 21 in the GW. Since he doesn't have any root, he lasts only a little while. When suffering or persecution comes along because of the word, he immediately falls from faith.
He immediately what?
Falls. That's a good one.
Falls.
Yeah.
That's what offended means. It means to stumble, to trip up. He immediately falls, just like a tree if it ain't got root. You ever try to put a plant in a pot that ain't got no soil in it? What's gonna happen? The plant is gonna fall to the side, lean up against the side of the pot.
Yep.
But if you put some soil in it, you stick it right in the middle, it'll just stand up on its own.
Yep.
And that's the thing. In other words, this is saying that these people were not grounded in their faith. They didn't last long enough to even get grounded. They were excited at first. See, I see a lot of smiles and stuff when people first come up in here. Yay! Oh, I love this word. Brother Josh, 6 months later, I ain't heard a word from you. You don't even care about what I'm talking about or what anybody talking about. Because I'm not saying if you walk away from here, that means you fell off. I'm just saying like you ain't even saying the word at all no more. You say you still believe in God, but you're not active. You're not showing up anywhere on a weekly basis trying to learn or study with nobody. But you were real crunk at first. That's why, man, when people come in with all this energy, I think sometimes they get a little offended by me because I don't share their enthusiasm. It's hard for me to do that when I don't been doing this for so long and I don't see a bunch of people crunk in the beginning. Yeah. They amped up in the beginning. Yeah, I love Jesus. Yeah. Then when that persecution comes, man, I ain't know I was signing up for this. Yes, you did, because you came to ABT, brother Josh told you. Some of y'all don't believe me. That's what it is, Kevin J. I tell them, and y'all hear it, but y'all don't believe it. Then when it happened, dang.
Yeah.
Why you ain't tell me this, Josh? I did tell you. You must didn't believe me. I did tell you. And remember, y'all, don't forget out of these 4 fates, 2 things. 1, it's only one good scenario, and 2, none of these people does it say in this admits that they're done. None of them say, okay, I'm done. They're all still claiming to be in the faith. This is what we're talking about, right? Now let's go back to C-Rock. Remember you asked me to read verse 2 and I said not yet?
Oh, okay.
Let's go back to C-Rock. Chapter 2, and we're gonna read verses 1 and 2. This is why I didn't have you read 2 earlier.
Yeah, I was
wait. Let me make sure I got here. Let me make sure I got here. I'm sorry. Did you read verse 21?
Yes, that's what I just read. Yep. You read that in the good news and the GW.
Okay. Now, let me see if I got this in the order that I want this in. Okay. Yep. C-Rock. Yep. Ecclesiasticus. And tell me if you recognize a word that was used when Jesus talked about this. C-Rock chapter 2, 1 and 2.
Okay, this is C-Rock 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
So we read that at the beginning of the class. Prepare your soul to be tempted. Prepare yourself for trials, tests. Now watch what verse 2 says.
2, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble.
Now look what it said. Set your heart aright and constantly what, Kevin J?
Endure.
Go back to Matthew 13 and verse 21 and read.
Matthew 13.
Hold your spot there because we're going to come back to C-Rock.
Oh, we're coming back. Okay.
Yeah.
Matthew 13 and verse 21. Hold on. What's on the other side? Hold on, I'm getting hung up
Now,
here.
watch what word pops up. Go ahead.
Hold on, my thing, my system is acting up. 1 second. 13. Okay, verse 13 and
21.
21. It reads, yet hath he not root in himself, but dureth for a while. For when tribulation or persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended.
And by means immediately. Right? But the word that I'm focusing on is that, but he dureth for a while. Dureth means the same thing as endure.
Right.
So what it says is he endures for a while. Go back and read C-Rock 2 and 2 and watch what it says you have to do. Other than prepare yourself for being tempted or tested. Read that again.
C-Rock 2 and 2. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make sure not and make not haste in time of trouble.
Why do you think in Sirach 2:2 it told you got to constantly endure, Kevin J? But in Matthew 13:21, one of the problems that arose from this person not being able to last is that they only endured for a while. So why does Sirach 2:2 tell you constantly endure? Why do you think it tells you that, Kevin J?
Because you will constantly be tested.
Exactly. You will be constantly tested. So what was this guy's fall? What made him fall? He did not know that he would constantly be tested. That's why he could only endure for a while. But it tells you in Sirach 2:2 to constantly endure. See, you're not told this when you first become a Christian, right?
Nope.
That you're going to have to constantly endure. And also in that verse, look what else it says. And make not haste in time of trouble. That means when trouble happens, don't act too quickly. In what way does it mean don't act too quickly? Don't be so quick to give up. That's the same thing Jesus was talking about. They instantly quit. So Sirach 2:2 is saying the same thing that Jesus was warning us about in the parable of the sower. Do y'all see this?
Right as day.
We're supposed to constantly endure. They ain't telling you when you sign up for Christianity that you got to endure anything.
Nope.
The free gracers are just telling you, you're just saved. Once saved, always saved. Yeah, you walking around here thinking you always saved and you one of these categories.
It's tough.
And then you're going to get on judgment day and Jesus going to say, I never knew you. And you're going to be saying all this stuff that you did, which you actually did. But he's going to say, I never knew you. Because when I tried to give you understanding, you didn't want to get it. You weren't really rooted. You didn't really want to suffer for this. You got to be willing to suffer. Not desiring to suffer, but willing to. A lot of us can't even handle people disagreeing with us. And what I mean by that is we tell people what they want to hear because we can't even handle the persecution. And what Christians like to do, they love to persecute each other.
Oh yeah.
I don't look to the outside world for persecution. My fellow Christians got me covered on that.
Big time.
That's what they try to do. All Gideon did, and I'm going to keep letting everybody remember that. All Gideon did was announce to the world that he's trying to be more serious about his walk with Christ. He didn't even announce any denomination, no name or no pastor. All the man said is that he's trying to give his life back to Christ. And it was the Christians that attacked him. Man ain't even took a position yet. You don't even know his position on the issues yet. And y'all coming for him. Christians. And y'all wonder why young Dunn hates it? See, I don't blame him because he ain't just talked about the Bible itself. He also talked about everything.
Yeah.
Don't try to just put it off like, he was, he this, he was that. Yeah, he was all of that. But the stuff he was saying about why he hates it, a lot of that was true. I share that same sentiment. The only difference between me and him is that I know how to eat the meat and spit out the bones. He throwing away the whole dang chicken.
Hold on now.
See, that's what he doing. Oh, bro, just get rid of the bones. You know what I'm saying? Throw that drumstick bone in the trash. Don't throw away the whole drum. Just beat on that. Don't do that. But we both agree some need to be thrown away.
Right.
Right? And it's time for people to call Christianity out for what it is. It's fake. It's pretend. Not every single person, but y'all know I'm telling the truth. You can't really honestly sit around and look back at the state of this world and all these different denominations and think this is God.
No.
This is Jesus. No. and you think you're so special. You make videos and you represent only one of the tens of thousands of views out there. And in your mind, you actually think you're special. That's what really makes me laugh. Let me tell y'all something. I want y'all to think about this. We're all different, but very few of us are special. Do you understand that, Kevin J?
Oh, yeah.
We're all different, but very few of us are special. A lot of us, you've been lied to since you was a child. Oh, you're special. No, you're not special unless you actually did something special. Your children may be special to you, but in this world, if they ain't really done nothing that nobody else ain't done or can do, they ain't special. We're all different. We got different fingerprints and all that stuff. I'm not saying we're all the same. We're all different. But don't go out in this world thinking that different means special. And that's how it is with these denominations. Everybody in these denominations think they're special. No, you're just different. That's all you are. And you get in your head and you puff yourself up and you ain't doing nothing but represent another man's view. A lot of these denominations, this ain't even your thoughts. A lot of y'all don't got original thoughts. You're arguing another man's perspective. What would happen if this guy named Calvin was never born? What would you think about the Bible then? You ever ask yourself that question? What if the Eastern Orthodox Church was never formed? What would you think about the Bible then? You don't even want to think about that because the very thought of thinking for yourself scares the hell out of you. That's why a lot of people join. They scared to think for themselves. You don't even trust that the Lord can show you anything.
Amen.
See, that's where I separate myself. I don't think God only speaks through me. I don't think God can only show Brother Josh something. I think God can show all of y'all something. I think we're special, all of us, in that regard. I'm not walking around here thinking, well, he only gonna show that to me. He ain't gonna show Kevin J, Gideon, Keanu, Jeff, nobody, just me. No, wrong. That's a cult. That's what that is. So like I said, we're all different, but we're not all special. So stop thinking you special when you just like everybody else. You were born into a religious denomination, you accepted it without question, and now you're defending another man's position. You can't even tell me what you think about that. What do you think about that? Well, I think, this, that, and that. That's not what you think. You didn't come up with that. You didn't come up with that. You got that from him. That's what this is, y'all. I'm just telling y'all what it is. When are we going to sit down and just go back to calling stuff what it is? When are we going to do that, Kevin J? When are we going to do that? I miss them days when I could call something what it is.
Yeah.
Right? But as you can see, it says constantly endure. Are y'all willing to constantly endure? That's what you got to ask yourself. See, I'm giving y'all the real spill. I don't want nobody to feel duped. I don't want nobody to hit me up in my DM. Josh, you never told me it was gonna be like this, bro. No, you can't say that about me. Go say that to your pastor, your other pastor. You can't say I didn't tell you. I'm up front with y'all. I'm letting you know right now. The only thing you should be saying to me in my DM, Josh, you told me it was gonna be like this, bro. You sure didn't lie. You follow us?
What they say?
Now y'all gonna be telling me. I don't have people tell me that before.
But they say, Mama said there'd be days like this.
Mama said there's gonna be days like this. Uncle Josh said there were gonna be days like this. Brother Josh, he said there were gonna be days like this. In fact, I don't have a lot of y'all hit me up in my DM and say, boy, you called it. You said it was gonna happen. I told you. I don't need all that disappointment. You can't be mad at me. I even told some people on Clubhouse this morning. Same thing I tell y'all. Take it to the throne. Y'all was talking about, man, I don't think God would do that. I said, say that right now. Well, I don't agree. I said, take it to the throne, bro. I'll tell somebody to take it to the throne in a minute. Go talk to the king, dude. You want to see him argue with the king's messenger when you got a problem with the king? Go talk to the king. Y'all don't want to talk to the king because y'all scared of what the king gonna say. So y'all want to see him argue with the messenger? No, go talk to the king, bro. I didn't write this. And Kevin J, this is the reason why when you talk about these 4 fates, a lot of Christians don't like this because it requires them to look within at their true selves. And a lot of people don't like to look at within at their true selves because they know they're not going to like what they see.
They're not going to like what they see, sir.
They know that. That's why people don't like to self-reflect. Words have meanings. What do reflect means in the context of a mirror, Kevin J?
Showing your image right back at you.
Showing your image right back at you. So self-reflect means taking a look at yourself and looking at what that image throws right back at you. And a lot of us know that inside we're ugly. We know it. So a person who know they're very ugly does not want you to hold a mirror up to them. And they dang sure ain't gonna hold it up to themselves. So when you do these kind of classes that make people self-reflect, they get mad because they don't like what they see on the inside. So when you don't like to self-reflect, y'all know I gotta get on my rhyming. We don't like to self-reflect, you start to self-project. And what self-project means is you take the ugly that you know you have and you project it onto somebody else and you try to say that's how they are. That's what happens. People also call that the you too fallacy. Like if Karen J be like, if Karen J be like, Josh, you selfish. You only care about yourself. And then instead of me trying to defend myself and say that's a lie, I say, you selfish too, Kevin. That's called the you too fallacy. Kevin J ain't even selfish. I'm just calling him that because he called me that. That's also called projection, when you take something about yourself or something wrong with yourself and you put that on somebody else. That's psychology. It's called projection. So when people don't like to self-reflect, they self-project. They project self on somebody else.
Hey, Josh, really quick, you notice that most of your listeners, though, what is most of your listeners' favorite classes, though? Most of our favorite classes.
Self-reflection classes.
Say it again.
The self-reflection classes.
There you go. That lets you know who's following you, because we like self-reflection. We like to see what's wrong with ourselves to what? Correct ourselves. Might not look real good.
Let me ask you a question.
Our buttons might be hurting at the end of it, but we got a little bit better. That's all.
Right. But let me ask you a question, Kevin J. And I'm not just talking to you, I'm also talking through you to everybody else with this question. Sir. How many days in your actual life, literally, have you gone without looking in the mirror? Like your actual mirror. How many days have you ever gone?
Man, I'm not a mirror type of dude to be talking. I mean, especially.
I'm just asking, how many days have you skipped looking in the mirror?
Yeah, probably, man. Jeez.
0. Nobody's ever done that. Every day you get up, you brush your teeth.
I see myself every day.
You're standing here. Nobody in modern society goes a single day without looking in the mirror, do they? Please tell me how. And I know the women ain't even gonna try to play with me on that. Because if you're a woman and you never use a mirror, don't ever invite me to your house to eat because you don't care about nothing. You feel me?
I see a mirror every day, but not like looking at myself like per se like that. But
yeah, you look at yourself every day. Let me ask you a question. When you get ready in the morning, do you look at yourself in the mirror? Make sure your face clean and all?
Yeah.
Do we all do that?
Yep.
Do we? Can anybody tell me the last time they went a day without looking at a mirror? You can't remember because you do it every day. Now that's the physical mirror. Why don't you look at yourself every day spiritually in the spiritual mirror? See, that's my point. You look at yourself every day in the carnal miracle, in the physical. You need to look at yourself in the spiritual mirror. And guess what you do every time you look in that mirror, Kevin J? What do? Every time you look in that mirror, what are you doing? What are you doing it for? Your actual mirror.
Yeah, I'm looking at myself.
I mean, but what are you doing it for? Every morning, when a woman gets in the mirror, what is she looking in the mirror for? What's the point?
Oh, fix herself up, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what's the reason why we should be looking in our spiritual mirror every day?
Fix ourselves up, my friend.
Fix ourselves up. And a lot of people don't want to look in that mirror because we know the spiritual mirror, because we know we're so ugly, we don't even want to fix ourselves up. It's like you look at something, you see it's so ugly, I'm not even going to try to get this one a makeover. I don't even. It's like somebody walk into a beauty salon and their hair just so messed up and they need a facial, they need a whole makeover, and the stylist just be like, yo, I ain't even touching this. I don't even want to look at this. That's how some of us are with our spiritual mirrors. That's why we just don't want to look at it. But I'm gonna make you look at it over here. I'm gonna hold it up to your face. I'm gonna make you see who you are. But Ariel got his hand up. Ariel, you something you want to add?
Peace. Can you hear me?
You're good on my end.
Awesome. All praises. Yeah, I was about to say, don't we all look in the mirror when we brush our teeth in the morning? Like we can't like brushing our teeth and washing our face. Hopefully everybody brush their teeth and wash their face in the bathroom every morning. And all bathrooms have a mirror. Go to the gym, it's a mirror. You know, cars have mirrors, reflectors, windows, all that. So everybody look at themselves in the mirror every day.
We constantly in the mirror, Ariel, for various reasons. Right? You ain't finna tell me you a man and you groom yourself and you never look in the mirror to do it. You ain't gonna tell me you brush your teeth and you don't look in the mirror to brush your teeth. Make sure that, you know, you ain't got no corn or nothing you left up in there, you know what I'm saying? So we need to do the same thing with our spiritual mirrors, y'all. And I'm gonna do a class on that. Yes, I got a class on reflection. You know, looking at yourself. Christianity doesn't like looking at itself. That's why it's looking at everybody else. If you ever find somebody who spends a lot of time focused on everybody else, it's because they don't like themselves. They don't like what they see in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, you know, I look in the mirror. I'm an ugly dude. I'm gonna look at Jeff. I think Jeff handsome. You know what I'm saying? Because I hate the way I look. That's what it is. When people hate the way they look, they focus on things of beauty. Or they try to deflect. I'm telling y'all the truth. This is the world we live in. And I call people out on stuff, man. Like, you know, we got to stop this, man. Like, stop the cap. Be real. It don't cost anything to be real. It's free. Well, it do cost you something. It might cost you some friends. Might cost you a job. I take that back. It costs a lot to be real. It's very expensive to be real.
Yeah.
But guess what, y'all? But guess what, Kevin J? Real is expensive.
Yep.
Let me ask you a question, Nautica. Which one costs the most? A Gucci bag or a fake Gucci bag?
No.
If you on the mic, Nautica, come off the bike. She might not be able to come off the bike. I asked the sisters in the chat.
Fake Gucci.
Which one costs the most? Somebody said, why Nautica? Because Nautica like them Gucci bags. That's why Nautica, because she like them Gucci bags. That's why I asked her. Which one costs the most, y'all? A Gucci bag or a fake Gucci bag? Which one costs the most? Tell me in the chat. The real one. Real cost. Y'all know that, right? That's what people sell. Real. Y'all know what another word for real is? Organic. What's the opposite of organic? Synthetic. Y'all ever notice that when people use words like real and organic, it costs more money? Real is expensive. Y'all know that, right? Real is expensive. That's the world we live in. Real gonna cost you. So when you keep it real, that's gonna cost you. I'm losing money right now keeping it real. You know why? Because I would have a lot more people in here donating if they were paying me money. If I was telling them what they wanted to hear. Remember that, y'all. Real is expensive. You go anywhere, when they put the word real in it, You know you finna pay more, don't you, Kevin J?
Yeah. You finna pay.
Air costs and real costs. Remember that, y'all. Care costs and real costs. Let's move on. Going back to Matthew chapter 13, 22. I be trying to tell them, Kevin J, I hope they listening. I really hope they listening. Real costs, bruh. Every time somebody put real on something, you finna pay more.
Big time. Especially in this country.
Fake is cheap. Y'all know that. Fake is cheap. Somebody say organic, that means that's real. No artificial flavors. That's why they say artificial means fake. When they say natural flavors, real flavors, you finna pay money. If it's real, it's gonna cost you something. It's gonna be more, or it's gonna cost you everything. Y'all remember Dave Chappelle when keeping it real goes wrong?
Oh, I used to love that one, man. Hey,
Who remember that? In every scenario, when he kept it real, did it cost him something?
It costs you something, boy.
Y'all see what I'm saying? This is the world we live in. When keeping it real goes wrong. So you keep it real, it's gonna cost you. And in the days of the apostles, it cost them their lives.
Mm.
Even in this day and age, it can cost you your life. That's why I try to tell people, man. That's why a lot of Christians, they rather be fake, because it don't cost anything to be fake. Real is expensive. And when I use the word expensive, I don't always mean money. Real is expensive. Even if you go to a store, go buy you a t-shirt. We were talking about the t-shirts earlier. Go buy you a t-shirt where it says 50% cotton, 50% polyester. And then go buy you a shirt that says 100% cotton. Which one you think gonna cost the most?
That cotton.
That cotton one, because that's 100%.
Yep.
Real always costs, y'all. It's gonna cost you something. That's why, just to take it to another level, just sidetracking a little bit, but still on point. When you hear a woman say she wants a real man, how the hell she figure that ain't gonna cost her something?
Oh.
Y'all see what I'm saying? Even when y'all go buy y'all weaves, what do you have heard women brag about, folks? This human hair, this real. This ain't synthetic. This real. That mean it costs more money, don't it? Y'all tell me, so this ain't shade or nothing, but y'all know, y'all go to the beauty salons, don't real human hair cost more than synthetic hair? I ain't throwing no shade. Y'all heard what I said before. I don't care if you want to wear a wig, weave, whatever. The only thing I ask Kevin J, did they do with it? Who remember what I always say? I don't care if you got a wig, if it's blue, what I always say, only thing I ask the woman to do with it. Anybody remember? The word it means match, but I use it again, coordinate. That's all I ever say. All I ask is that y'all coordinate. If you got a blue wig, you better have on a blue dress and some blue shoes. That's all I ask. Don't come out here wearing a Wendy's uniform with a freaking green, not lime green wig on. I seen that in the drive-thru one time.
Oh, no.
I'm just saying, all I ask, and I think I'm making a compromise. Now, overall, if you just ask me what I prefer, yes, I prefer a woman who got her hair natural. But I'm not going to complain if you want to throw a wig or some weave up in there. I'm just going to ask you that you coordinate it. That's all I ask. Is that a fair compromise, Kevin J? I'm letting you have the wig. I'm letting you have the weave. You can make it any color you want. I just wanted to coordinate. I think that's a pretty fair compromise, ain't it?
Gotta coordinate.
Just coordinate. Got to coordinate. That's all I want you to do. But my point is, I'm showing y'all real costs more. So when a woman says she want a real man, that's going to cost you something, sister. Now, I ain't talking about no money.
Oh.
Real cost. Always remember that, y'all. Real cost. In everything, unless y'all can show me something in this world that if it's real, it's less expensive than the fake version of it. Yep, same thing for a real woman. That's going to cost you. I only want to get into how much it'll cost for a real woman. Woo! Let's just say it's far above rubies. Matter of fact, we talked about that, didn't we, Keanu? How much is a real woman worth? We can't even afford it. I'm still paying that off. That's how you gonna be like, man, like Tommy, in my opinion, Tommy got a real woman. He's still paying that off. His children gonna be paying that off. You feel me? They gonna inherit that debt. Tommy and Keanu gonna be long gone. His children gonna still be paying for the cost of a real woman in Keanu. His son like, dang, daddy, why you had to get a real one? You should have got a chicken head. I'm just being silly, Keanu. Keanu know I'm messing with it, right? But where we at? We in Matthew 13:22. Yeah. Real cost, y'all. As a man, I understand that. If I want to get me a real one, like that virtuous woman, it said her price is far above rubies. Didn't it say that, Kevin J?
Just say. The book say.
You know what I'm saying? That's a real woman. See, I want far above rubies. I don't want a $2 304.
Uh-oh.
You follow what I'm saying? I want above rubies, not $2. Right? Matthew 13. You can't ever pay that off, Kevin J.
Nah, you can't.
Some of y'all still paying on that. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all still paying. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I'll pay for life. That's what you supposed. You got you a real one. I'm telling y'all, fellas, y'all can call me a simp. It's not a simp if that's your woman and she doing for you. If she's a good woman, if she's a real woman, you can never afford her anyway. That's what we don't even understand. You can't afford something that's far above currency. How you can afford that?
You can't.
Your money's no good here. We just lucky they like money. That's what this. See, Kevin, we just lucky they like money.
Right.
Because if they really knew their worth, it would be nothing we could give them. They'd be glad they like money. I know my price is far above rubies, but I ain't gonna frown if you give me a ruby.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Treat them right. Matthew 13, read verse 22. Watch what this verse say.
This Matthew 13, verse 22. He also that received seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful.
And that's that word strangle. It said he also that received seed, this is the third scenario, among the thorns, is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he become unfruitful. And see, this is where I fear, and I'm not putting Gideon on the spot, but I'm just telling y'all, this is why I fear for people who have money. Because see, the deceitfulness of the riches of this world can't affect somebody who ain't got no riches. Maybe if you're trying to make that money, that can get you, right? But the richer you are, the more likely this can happen to you.
Interesting.
That's why Jesus said how rare it is for a rich man to enter into the kingdom, right? So we got to be careful if we got above means income, because that can choke the word out of you if you're not careful. So you can't deceive a broke dude with the deceitfulness and richness of the world. When it says this means you actually have it or in a position where you can actually get it. You follow what I'm saying? That's only people that can happen to. And it said the deceitfulness of riches. Notice it didn't say riches just plainly. It said the deceitfulness of riches, meaning you're allowing your greed to deceive you. Because money itself just sitting there is not going to get up and trick you. Your greed is tricking you, and you're putting that money before the word. There's not anything wrong with being rich. I can show y'all a lot of places in the Bible where not only it says that it's okay to be rich, but that God will make you rich in some cases. He'll do it. Right? But I'm just showing you that riches can choke the word out of you.
So the lust thereof, you're speaking of, right? Okay.
Exactly. Or the fear of losing what you got, giving up a certain lifestyle for the word, taking a pay cut because of the word. I was making all this money when I was doing this, but when I had to change my ways and get serious, I had to cut this out. But now I'm starting to miss that money like that.
Oh.
So I'm gonna start back going back to my sinful ways. Remember when I did that Cassidy Campbell video?
Oh yeah.
He even said in the video himself, he could make a lot of money doing that. And he went back to doing it. And he admitted why he was doing it in the first place, for the money. Right? But Cassidy Campbell still professes to be a Christian. Like I said, they don't always do what Young Don did. This is what I'm trying to show y'all. And this ain't no shot at Cassidy Campbell. I'm just stating what he did, what he said himself out his own mouth.
Yeah, it fits right what we're talking about.
It fits right what we're talking about. Gideon put the pranks away. Gideon could be making content and he can still get merchandise and more money for doing the pranks if he went back to doing that. He knows that. A lot of these YouTubers who claim to be Christians and putting sinful content out there, they know it's sinful. That's why I like Cassidy Campbell admitted. He said, I'm causing people to lust. This is wrong. They know this stuff, but they're being choked by the deceitfulness of the riches. This is a category you don't want to be in. I keep telling y'all, everybody in these categories are not going to be like, therefore I'm done with the faith. They're going to still carry on like they're really believers. In other words, you can fall away and be gone and don't even realize it. Do you think the people on Judgment Day who Jesus is going to say, I never knew you, you think they're expecting that from Jesus?
No, sir.
They're on Judgment Day thinking they're good. They're in there. We've been doing right the whole time. No, I never knew you.
Right. He's talking to believers. Yeah. That's rough.
Right. This is what I try to get y'all to understand. This you only got a 1 in 4 shot chance as far as the scenarios are concerned. Statistically speaking, that's 25% out of 100. I don't like them odds.
Not at all.
Do y'all like them odds? Keanu, Jeff, Ariel, Gideon, chat? Y'all like a 1 in 4 shot odds?
That ain't never good.
That ain't ever good. When was the last time you made a 25 on a test and that was a passing grade? When was the last time you seen that? That's an F.
Not never.
That's an F. That's an F minus. You follow what I'm saying? I'm trying to show y'all how this goes. And a lot of us sitting up in here and we're in every category but the right one. And then when I try to say, man, you on stony ground, man, or you're being scorched, man, nah. They don't want to hear that. They want to get mad. There's only 4 ways we're going to end. 1 of 4 ways we're going to end up, y'all. Only 1 of 4. That's it. Ain't a 5th, ain't a 10th. 1 of 4. This is how Jesus laid it out. When we talk about how everybody respond to this word. And when I say respond to this word, we talk about people who generally receive it in the beginning. This ain't talking about nobody who faking getting into it. These are people who actually start off genuinely and sincerely embracing this word. That's the scary part about this, y'all. Yeah. If it was just talking about a bunch of phonies, I wouldn't even really be coming at y'all this hard like this because I don't think y'all are phonies. This is talking about people who in the very beginning really, truly did believe. That's scary to me. That people can really want this in the beginning and then end up in one of these bad scenarios. That's scary to me. That's why you got to look in the mirror, your spiritual mirror, and say, man, which one of these fates am I in? Right? Now, we just read on verse 22, right?
Yeah.
Go back to C-Rock. Let me show y'all something related to this about these riches. Chapter 31.
C-Rock.
It said, what did it say? The cares. Read verse 22 and 13, please, again, just to give a refresh before we go here. Read that again, and then we're going to go to C-Rock.
Okay, cool. Let me read it again.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at that, the good news, too. But this is
good.
It says, he also that received seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful.
Now, what I want to point out here before we move on, that it says the care of this world.
Yep.
You care about what's going on in this world and trying to get the riches of it.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on the word care. What's another word for care? You're worried about it. You worried about trying to get this money, trying to get a bag. And ain't nothing wrong with y'all trying to get a bag. Especially if y'all gonna, consecrate me a check. But you don't put that.
Consecrate.
You don't put that before this word. You follow what I'm saying? You don't put that before this word. I keep it real with y'all. Y'all better consecrate, hook your boy up. See, a lot of preachers won't just come out and just straight be like, yo, hook your boy up, show some love. I'll tell you in a minute.
Yeah, they'd rather tell you to pay a tithe. They'd rather do that.
Right. They'll just tell you to pay your tithes. But I'm telling y'all the truth, though, don't put that before this word. But everybody who talked to me, y'all will hear me. I ain't never told, Brother Josh ain't never told y'all, don't chase your bag. That's stupid. You get your bag, just don't put it before the Lord. Get you a wife, just don't put it before the Lord. Get you a husband, just don't put it before the Lord.
Amen.
Right? Going after money in general is not a sin.
No.
Just don't put it before the Lord. But in this context right here, y'all see what the problem is. They more concerned about this than the word. Y'all can see that. That's why I said the cares and riches of this world. They worried about that. Now watch this. C-Rock 31. Heard a preacher say that a long time ago. I told you that consecrate me a check. I ain't gonna ever forget that as long as I live. That dude said, consecrate me a check. He could have just said, write me a check, send me a check. That dude said, consecrate. He had to make it sound holy. Make sure you got that money.
Consecrate this thing.
Consecrate me a check. Hey. Okay. Somebody should have called in and asked him how you do that. How do I consecrate a check? I know how to write a check. I know how to mail a check. I know how to deposit a check. I don't know how to consecrate a check, bro. You want to put some virgin olive oil on it or something, consecrate like using me like to make something holy. You know what I'm saying? You want me to pray over the check before I send it to you? Like sprinkle some holy water on it or something? Dude, tell me, I'm lost. How do I consecrate? Do you want me to anoint the check? What you want me to do, bro? Words have meaning. I'm just saying, words have meaning. Just say send the money. Just say that, Kevin J. Y'all remember y'all seen that movie Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the that preacher just said, don't ask, no questions. And then at the end, he just said, he just said, just send the money. Just say it. Just send the money. Just say it, bro. That's all. He just kept it real with him. He just said, just send the money. That's all he had to say, didn't he, Kevin J? That's it. C-Rock 31, 1 and 2. I'm going to tell y'all, man, I respect real. I may not like what people are being real about, but I'm always going to respect real. And that's how y'all should be. You don't have to like what they're being real about. That's not a requirement. But respect that they keeping it real. Always respect the real. I don't like what Young Don is being real about, but I respect that he being real. At least he not look like the rest of these Christians who in one of these categories and trying to pretend like they holding the faith.
Yeah. You keep it a buck.
You keeping it a buck. You got to respect the real. That's another thing y'all write down. Always respect the real. Always do that. This C-Rock 31. Read verses 1 and 2 and watch what it says about these riches. Go ahead.
Let's see, Rock 31 and 1. Watching for riches consumeth the flesh, and the care thereof driveth away sleep.
Did not Jesus say the care and the riches of this world, the deceitfulness of the riches of this world, choke the word out of people? Did it not say that, Kevin J?
That's what the book say.
In C-Rock, it said, watching for riches consumeth the flesh, and the care thereof, you know that word care, driveth away sleep. What this is saying is These people who are so hell bent on getting riches, getting money, is keeping them up at night.
Yeah.
They're losing sleep. And they say it consumeth the flesh.
Yeah.
It's like it's literally killing you. You're so obsessed with money, it's like you're wasting away. That sounds like something bad, don't it?
Oh, yeah.
This is what I want y'all to understand. Caring about that stuff before the word. So a lot of these guys is trying to get a bag. That's what they're trying to do. They don't care about this word. That's what get them. They're deceived by money. And what I want y'all to understand, donations or not, Brother Josh gonna tell y'all the truth. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. I ain't gonna try to dress it up better for some more donations. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. But a lot of preachers know, and have been knowing for years, that you can get a lot more money by telling these people what they want to hear and by telling them the truth. You can get a lot more. You can get more money and more members. That's why the Sunday church is packed, but yet the Sunday church don't know anything. What's the sense in bragging about how big your school is if everybody in the school dumb? That's the same scenario, ain't it, Kevin J?
Yeah.
You open up a big old university and nobody in there can read, but you got 50,000 people up in there. That's what the Sunday church is. The Sunday church is like a huge university or college where the majority of people in there can't even read. And then you go to a little storefront school, and it ain't got nothing but 100 people in there, and all of them scholars.
Mm.
That's what that is. And that's how they pack the house, because they want the money, and they telling people what they want to hear. Read verse 2. Watch what else it says.
See Rock 31:2. Watching care will not let a man slumber, as a sore disease breaketh sleep.
Watching care, watching for that money, trying to get that money, will not let a man sleep, like somebody who got a disease that's keeping them up. See, we were warned about this prior to the 4 fates, what riches can do to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the scenarios that's keeping people out the kingdom. They want a bag. That's all they want. And it's even more dangerous if you already got a bag, and when you become a Christian, you start realizing you might have to lose a big portion of it to be a Christian. You don't want to lose that money. So you're going to keep doing your dirt that you've been doing. That's what you're going to do. That's why it's dangerous. That's one of the scenarios to look out for. And I'm telling everybody, this mainly applies to people. The more money you got, the more it applies to you. Because a broke dude ain't going to be outside of the kingdom for riches because he ain't got no riches. How you going to be in the kingdom for something you don't got? Mm. How you going to care about something that you don't got? Most people, the average man today that know he's probably never going to be rich, he probably ain't going to fall in that scenario. That's not his downfall. Everybody got different stuff they struggle with. We know that. Right? But skip down, Kevin J, and give me verses 6 and 7 and watch what else it says.
This is C-Rock 31:6. Gold have been the ruin of many, and their destruction was present.
Gold hath been the ruin of many, and their destruction was present. When it says gold, it's talking about money, riches. It says it's been the destruction of many, according to Jesus, even your eternal salvation.
Mm.
Right?
Yep.
And watch what it says in this next verse. Now, I really want you to pay attention to this one, verse 7.
It is a stumbling block unto them that sacrifice unto it, and every fool shall be taken therewith.
Now, look what it says, Kevin J. What does stumbling block mean?
You finna fall. You finna trip over that.
Right. So it's a stumbling block. You're going to trip over it. It says to them that do what to it?
Sacrifice unto it.
Let me ask you a question, Kevin J. What does it mean when it says it's a stumbling block to them who sacrifice to it?
They worshiping that.
Exactly. This ain't talking about like an actual idol that you make out of gold into a statue and worship it. It don't mean that. it means you're sacrificing into it in the sense of you're making it your God.
Mm-hmm.
You're not shaping it or nothing. It's your God.
Yep.
It says it is a stumbling block to them that sacrifice unto it, and every fool shall be taken therewith. Every fool is going to be taken by gold. Taken means they're going to be caught, catched away, like Jesus said. See, a lot of people are making sacrifice of money. Jesus mentioned that too. He said you can't serve God and mammon. Mammon means money or finances or material gain. See, it's weird that this is the only time in the Bible that I've come across, from Genesis to Revelation and the entire Apocrypha, where the word sacrifice is used in that sense, and it don't mean to an actual idol or God.
Right.
You're sacrificing to the love of the gold itself. And this is why, in that scenario, in that fate, people are not going to be able to get in the kingdom. You got a lot of people right now who claim to be Christians and they got money, but they're not being the best Christians they can be because they don't want to lose any money.
Mm.
Like if you got a booming business and your busiest day is Saturday, and you find out you're supposed to shut down on the Sabbath, and then you get to crunching them numbers and like, dang, dude, I'm losing like $20,000 a day if I shut down on Saturday. No. That's what most people will do. It's just a fact. That's $20 a week. It's 4 Saturdays in a month. That's $100,000 a month. If you that rich and you making that much just on Saturdays. How many people y'all know trying to sacrifice $100,000 a month? Well, it'll be $80,000 because it's 4. Because 20 times 4 is 80. How many people y'all know trying to sacrifice $80,000 a month for their faith? Y'all know many people like that?
No.
Not including Gideon, of course, because Gideon did it, but I'm just saying other people. Y'all don't know too many people doing that. That's what I'm saying. This money, I'm telling y'all, man, this money bring out the real. That's what it do. There's an old saying. People say money change people. No, it don't. Money just bring out the real you. A lot of people are only humble because they're broke. A lot of people are only nice and polite because they're broke. Y'all know that? The second they get money, they become jerks and a-holes. And you like, dang, Josh, you don't change. No, this is actually how I always was. I just couldn't afford to be an a-hole. See, we don't think about it like that. People say this money changed you. If you're really a nice person, if you're really a humble person, you're gonna be like that no matter how much money you got. That's just the way you're gonna be. But when you see people start acting like that, that's because that's who they really are. That's who they always been. So money brings out the real you. It doesn't change you. It just brings out who you are. This is who you always were. You were only as polite and humble as you could afford to be. I tell people that all the time, man. It's so much stuff we don't think about. It's so much to this, and you've been robbed by modern day Christianity. They don't teach you this stuff, man. I go real deep in for y'all. Y'all need to know. It's a lot of stuff being held from y'all. A lot of information, a lot of psychology. And I'm gonna give it all to y'all as long as God allow me to do it. I'm gonna tell you, I don't like nobody being in the dark. I'm gonna tell y'all what's going on. So look what it said about that money, right? It said, it is a stumbling block unto them that sacrifice unto it, and every food shall be taken therewith. Now read verse 8. I didn't even originally have this in here, but I just want to put that in there. Read verse 8.
This is Mark 31 and 8. Blessed is the rich that is found without blemish and have not gone after gold.
Now, how's that even possible? How are you rich if you didn't go after the gold, Kevin J? You had to go after it in some sense, right?
Right. If you're talking about physical money, yeah.
Right. So how can you be rich but not going after gold? And we talking about actual rich, not spiritually rich. What this is saying is, when it says have not gone after gold, it just told you in verse 7, that means they didn't sacrifice unto it to get it. Let me ask you a question, Kevin J, and everybody in the chat. What do you think they sacrificed to the gold? It's an easy one.
Themselves.
Or another word I'm looking for. Their soul. There you go.
Oh.
There you go.
Sacrifice.
They sacrificed their soul. They sold their soul for it. There you go. They ahead of me on Kevin J. They ahead of me. As soon as I answer that, they ahead of me. They with me. Yourself can still mean your soul, so that's cool too. But I'm just saying the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, that was a much better. Yeah.
Yes, they sacrificing their soul. That's why I said, all right now, Antoine, don't get started about The Rock said he want Cody Rhodes' soul. Don't do that, Antoine. I'm in the class. Don't get me started. We'll talk about that later, because I get off into that. But he said, blessed is the rich that is found without blemish and have not gone after gold. That means somebody who's rich, but they didn't sacrifice themselves or the soul to get it. And that is definitely possible. That's very possible.
I like that.
And it says, blessed. That means God is going to bless you and keep blessing you. Let's move on. Let's go back to Matthew.
Hey, that verse 8 was a good add-on, man. I like that. I didn't see that coming.
Right. I don't want nobody to think that because they rich, they automatically doomed. No, that ain't true.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But if you just want to believe that, then, go ahead and get the consecrating.
Get the consecrating.
If you rich and you just want to believe that, get the consecrating, send it to me, and I'll show you that you can be rich and still do the thing right. I'll show you.
Come on,
Josh. I don't know if it's possible, Josh. I don't know if I can have all that money and do the thing right. Give it to me. I'll show you how to do it. Ain't that the only way to make them believe, Kevin J? If somebody think they're rich and they can't be rich and serve the Lord and keep being the same person, the only way I can make a believer out of you is you give it to me.
You be the example.
I'll be the example, but you ain't getting it back. Okay, Josh, you showed me you can do it. Now, can I have it back? No, that wasn't part of the deal, bro. That wasn't part of it. I'm just being silly. But for real, though, like some people, there are people that in this world, they don't think a rich man could actually serve the Lord. There's some people that really believe that. I never believed that. But there's some people that believe that. You can still serve the Lord. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if that's who you are, that's who you are. You're going to serve the Lord. Right? Don't put number. As long as you don't put anything before the Lord and it's within his word, you can have it. You can seek it. You can pursue it. Right? God even told David, he made David rich. He said, if that wouldn't have been enough, I would have gave you more.
Yeah. Come on, somebody.
He said that. Like, that don't sound like a God that got a particular problem with being rich in of itself.
No, sir.
And I'm going to do a whole class on that one day. Right? On, just rich people and their place with the Lord. Now, I know they're gonna probably apply to about less than 1% of everybody listening, but it still need to be talked about. You know what I'm saying? It still needs to be talked about.
You ain't lying about that.
Not too many people fall into that category, but it still need to be addressed. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't like nobody trying to attack people because they got means. Because yes, there's a stigma in the society.
Yep.
When you got memes, they want to make you evil. Because y'all know in a lot of movies, the villain is usually rich.
Yep.
They love to do that. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't even cool because that ain't even the case. Poor people sin too.
Yep.
We need to stop that. Poor people sin too. Right? Probably more. If you just want to keep it a buck, probably more.
Yeah. But that's what's important about you bringing 8, though, because you're showing us how they worship this. And you talked about the constant carrying of being what it takes to be rich. It's a worry. It's a burden. Now, that's something different. That's something different.
You losing sleep over that money.
Yeah.
And I knew about some people who like you to be on the stock market and stuff, and they'd be watching the stock market and stuff, and they were so obsessed with it that it was keeping them up at night. This could happen to people today. Look into this stuff.
You never know. You have to make that trade, man. 3:30 in the morning, you might have to make a trade.
Y'all don't want to be like that. Y'all don't want to be like that. But this is Matthew 13 and 23. And this is the category we all want to fall in.
Come on, somebody.
This is us. This is the fourth fate. And I pray that this is everybody fate who's listening today. Read, please.
This is Matthew 13 and 20. No, are we 18?
We're at verse 23 in Matthew.
Matthew 18? Did you say 13?
Oh, sorry. Matthew 13 and 23.
13. Okay. I got that wrong. Matthew 13 and 23. And it reads, but he that receiveth the seed into the ground, good ground, is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit and bringeth forth, some 100-fold, some 60, some 30.
Now, it said the one that fell on good ground are ones that did what, Kevin J?
It beareth
that description.
It beareth fruit and bringeth forth some 100-fold, some 60, and some 30.
But I'm talking about the first beginning of that. Give me the first beginning of that again. What did it say they do?
But he that receiveth the seed into the good ground is he that heareth the word.
And what else?
And understandeth it.
Mm-hmm. And understandeth it. Right? It said, he that is on the good ground are the ones that heareth the word and understandeth it. Right? That's part of the prerequisite, y'all. Do y'all see what I'm saying?
Hear it and understand.
You have to understand it. It didn't just say he that heareth the word. That's the ones that bear the fruit. Did it say that, Kevin J?
Nope.
It said you got to do what with it too?
Hear it and understand.
Hear it and understand it. How many of y'all can honestly say y'all feel that modern day Christianity understands the word too? Let me know in the chat. How many of y'all feel like they actually understand it? They're hearing it. Not many. And how do you know not many people understand the word? How do we know? Because look at all these different denominations out here. Look at all these different denominations out here. That's how you know. All these different denominations out here showing you that somebody don't got any understanding. Right? And that's what they show?
They show they do a lot of hearing. That's for sure. They're hearing a lot.
Right? They're doing a lot of hearing, yeah, but they're not understanding. That's why it's so much confusion in this world when it comes to Christianity. It's so much confusion in this world. That's why I say they don't understand the word. Nobody likes to point out the part about the understanding. They just like the part about the hearing, right? I keep trying to tell y'all, but we're going to read the same thing. Go to Luke chapter 8 and verse 15. This is about the same parable, but watch how he breaks down these people in verse 23. He said they understood it, but watch how he words it in Luke 8 and 15. Luke chapter 8, same story, same parable.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get there, read, please.
This is Luke chapter 8 verses 15. But that on the good ground are they which in an honest and good heart, having heard the word, keep it and bring forth fruit with patience.
That's a little more powerful than what we read in Matthew. Would you agree?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I do.
That's a little more powerful.
Yeah.
It said, the good ground are those who with an honest and good heart hear the word, keep it, and bring forth fruit with patience. Notice one of the qualifications for you to be in that fourth fate is that you got to keep the word.
Come on, somebody.
That means you got to live it. And that's what that means? That means you got to live it.
You got to endure.
You got to endure. See, they don't tell you all of this. See, the modern day church are breeding Christians for these first three categories.
Mm.
They're breeding y'all for that. They're not breeding y'all for the fourth one. That's why it tells you that there's going to be a lot of people on that wide road, and there's going to be a few people on that narrow road.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense now when you start looking at the numbers, don't it?
Yeah, and Christianity says that all the time.
Right. That wide road is these first three categories, y'all.
Come on, somebody.
That's that wide road. And just anybody else in the world who just reject Christ altogether and never want to give it a shot. But that's that wide road. These first three categories. The narrow road is that last category. But go back, Kevin J. I want to show you something else. Matthew 13:23 again.
Mm-hmm.
Read 23 again. I will show you something else to prove that it means you're keeping it.
This is Matthew 13:23. But he that received seed into the good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit and bringeth forth some 100-fold, some 60, some 30.
Dang, we seen another qualification. Kevin J., what do you think it means when it says bear fruit? What do y'all think that means?
Produce.
Yeah, I mean, that's what that means, but what do you think it means in our walk? What do you think that means?
Oh, this is like the fruits of the spirit. I look at it that way for me. You know what I mean? Like your walk and how you talk is what we should see in you. That's the fruits of the spirit.
So a certain kind of behavior.
Yes.
Now watch this now. Still in Matthew. Go back to chapter 3 and watch what John the Baptist says. Because he was the first person in the New Testament to use this language. This is Matthew chapter 3. Look what he's telling these Pharisees and Sadducees that showed up to him baptizing people. Right? Read that one verse, verse 10. Watch what he says.
This is Matthew chapter 3, verse 10. And now also the axe is laid unto the root of the trees. Therefore every tree which bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire.
So what does it mean to bring forth good fruit, Kevin J?
Good behavior, good works.
Good works, good behavior. And what happens if you don't bring forth good fruits?
You're going to be in hellfire.
You're going to be in hellfire. That's why Jesus said the ones that bring forth fruit, 30, 60, 100, whatever the numbers were, it's showing you the varying degrees of the works people will be doing. Not everybody going to be doing the same, but at least they're still in that same category. The fourth fate. People going to be doing things in different degrees, how they carry themselves, the works that they are producing, the fruits of the spirit, how they're helping other people, how they're carrying themselves. Look at the state of this world. Are these Christians bringing forth good fruit?
No, sir.
No. Let's stop the cap. No. They mad at Donald Trump because he's trying to reduce abortions. Christian women mad because he wants them to stop murdering their babies. Y'all mad because the man trying to stop you from murdering your babies. All these people claiming to be Christians. It's not bringing forth good fruit. In fact, you're killing your literal fruit, the fruit of your womb.
Facts.
You're literally doing that. It was Christians who fight for these trans men to be able to use the same restroom as actual women. Christians were fighting for them.
Yeah.
There's a few Christians out there telling it like it is, though, going to these gay parades, telling them they wrong, they need to stop this madness. But the majority of Christianity supports them. That's not bringing forth good fruit. That's not the fruit of the Spirit. And see, y'all wonder why I put such a big deal on behavior. People coming here rude, arrogant, condescending. If I allow that to happen, then some of y'all who was in this fourth fate gonna start easing back into one of the other three. That's why I got to make sure I maintain the reins up in here. See, I'm accountable for a lot of people who have taken it upon themselves to accept me as their teacher. See, a lot of people don't care about that accountability like this. A lot of people on social media who be in these clubhouse rooms and stuff, they don't feel accountable to y'all. They don't feel like that if they lead y'all astray, it's a big deal. I take this seriously. It's a lot on my plate that I have to deal with. I'm responsible for every last person in here that have said to themselves, yo, I think this dude on point. I'm going to put my trust in him. And putting your trust in somebody just simply means you trust them. Like the ones who keep coming back, y'all don't think I'm lying to y'all. If y'all did, you wouldn't be coming back. So I take this seriously. So when I see somebody trying to slide y'all and nudge y'all from that fourth fate where you're bringing forth good fruit, I got to step in and be like, no. Because that's what they're coming in here to do. Most people who come in here to try to attack us and challenge us, they're already in one of those other three categories anyway. And they see you're in the fourth one. The only scenario where we get saved. And they're trying to drag you back into one of those other three with them. So it's my job to make sure it doesn't go down like that. And I will guard the Most High's flock at all costs. That's my job. When was the last time you saw an actual shepherd in real life and a wolf came in to try to get the sheep and the shepherd beat it to death with the shepherd staff and the sheep complaining? Why did you kill him? When was the last time you saw that? Because that's what some people used to do to me. I'm beating upside the wolf head to stop him from eating y'all, and y'all feeling sorry for the wolf. He's here to eat you. You know what I'm saying? I know my impressions be stupid. Y'all know I ain't got no sense. Y'all know that. But that's what people do. Y'all feeling sorry for the wolf. No, this dude is here to devour you. And then if I let some sheep get devoured, you're mad about that too. Y'all got to understand this from my perspective. I don't know if y'all ever sat under a pastor or a leader or a preacher that really takes this job seriously. Like, I am so accountable to y'all. Like, so accountable. So accountable, in fact, that sometimes, not often, but when I really sit down and think about it, it scares me. That's how accountable I am to y'all. The ones who really believe me and say, yo, I think this dude on point. I think God working with him. I can't be like laxed on my job. And that's the type of pastor y'all need. I'm not saying I'm the only one like that, but that's how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be guarding y'all like with our life. So if I seem a little protective or apprehensive, then y'all just gonna have to forgive me for that, because I don't want y'all to spiritually die. That's just the way it is, right? Let's move on. Let's go to 2 Timothy, and we only got one more after that. Because now I'm finna show y'all something sad in the Bible. Because a lot of us, when we heard about the young Don, the people who knew him, it was devastating. And it should be for people who really followed him and looked to him for guidance. It should be devastating, right? Which is kind of weird, because God forbid I ever walk away from this. But if I did, and I know I got a lot of people who believed me, right? I'm not gonna come on social media the next day and start mocking the very people who were following me. Because that's what he did. Now you're making fun of all the Christians who you led to Christianity. You're making fun of them. This is stupid. This is stupid. You the one that told us to believe this in the first place, bruh. Now you're making fun of us? See, if I ever did something like that, I wouldn't go mocking people. I probably wouldn't even announce it publicly. I just let a few of y'all know, and probably word to get out like that then. But you're on here making fun of the belief system, and you acting like you ain't the one that led us into this. Why am I bringing this up? Because it shows a complete lack of caring about people. You don't even care about, it ain't about the belief system anymore. You don't even care about how much you're hurting us. Bad enough you don't walk away from this after we put all our faith in you. Now you're mocking us. It's like you're making fun of the people who you led astray. It's almost like you're saying, I trick y'all. Dang, dude, like, seriously? That's what I'm trying to get people to understand. See, it takes a level of actually caring about people to be a real teacher, a real pastor. A lot of people on these social media outlets, they don't care nothing about people listening to them. They care about the attention and the money. They don't really care. I mean, that's just the sad truth. I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of people just don't care about y'all. I care about the impact I'm having on y'all. I care if I say something jacked up or off the rails that'll make one of y'all straight and go back out in this world. I care about that. I ain't gonna be like, well, I know it was my fault, but whatever. That's on them. You gotta actually care about people to do this, man. That should be a prerequisite. How much do you actually care about people? Like, for real. And everybody who knows me on a personal level, they will tell you that Josh really generally does care. About the people that support me. I don't give a rat's what about everybody else who got a problem with us and ain't trying to support us. I'm talking about the people who support me and got my back and been with me for a while, right? They will tell you on a personal level when they talk to me, and we talk about what I need help with, they need help with. I generally and genuinely care about their well-being. I care about everybody's well-being. If you in this audience and you follow us and you've accepted this as your church home, or even one of your church homes, it ain't got to be your only one, even if it's just one of them. If you accept us as that, I care about your well-being. I really truly do. Everybody who know me will tell you that. I check in on people. I ask how they doing. If they going through something, I ask if there anything I can do to help. That's what I do, because I really do care. You really got to care about people to do this, and there's not enough people who really care. That's why you can do something like lead a bunch of people as a leader and then flip the script and start making fun of them like you don't give a damn. That's cruel. You the one led me here, and now you making fun of me for believing it. You the one told me to believe it. It shouldn't be nothing but apologies. I'm sorry, y'all. I thought I had it. I'm sorry. I mean, nothing but apologies, not mockery.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying? Like, that's just heartless. I know people who were pastors and stuff, and they walked away and they made a quiet exit. The only reason why we found out they got out the word because their members spreaded it. But they didn't go on social media attacking Christianity or trying to make people feel bad or stupid for still doing it. They didn't do that. Because they had enough decency to be like, yo, this is just me. I don't believe this no more. But I'm not going to make y'all feel bad. It's amazing how cruel people can be to one another. I would never do anything like that. That's just wow. Like, wow. People were sending you money and everything. Wow. Whew. Like I said, man, some of these people, you're right, they don't believe. Because if you really did believe, you wouldn't be doing that. You would not be doing that. This is 2 Timothy. Like, wow. Just, even if you take religion out of it, that's just messed up. That's just messed up. I don't even think they do that in the drug world. You rip somebody off, and then you go to the rest of the drug world bragging publicly about you ripping them off. Wow. But the Lord sees all, and you reap what you sow. Y'all heard it from me first. You reap what you sow. God is not mocked. You reap what you sow. I'm tired of making these predictions. Every time I say something like that, something pop off. So just so y'all know. 2 Timothy chapter 1. That's why I just pray for people, man. Like, come on, man. Just chill. Come on, girl. Chill. Y'all need to chill, man. 2 Timothy chapter 1, 13 to 15. This is what Paul is telling Timothy right here. Oh, let's see. Chapter 1, 13 to 15. Is it the one I want? Let's see. Yeah, go ahead.
This is 2 Timothy chapter 1, verses 13.
It's going to be sad.
Yep. Hold fast the form of the sound words, which thou hast heard of me, in faith and love, which is in Christ Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
That good thing which was committed unto thee, keep by the Holy Ghost, which dwelleth in us.
Is what Paul is telling Timothy. That good thing which was committed unto thee, keep by the Holy Ghost, which dwelleth in us. Now watch what verse 15 says.
15. This thou knowest, that all they which are in Asia be turned away from me, of whom Phygilius and Homogeneous, can never say that.
Look what he said. This thou knowest. He's telling Timothy, you know that all they which are in Asia be turned away from me. What do you think he mean when he said all those in Asia turned away from him, Kevin J?
He's talking to believers, people were converted.
And what did they do? After they were converted, what did they do?
They turned away.
They turned away from me. They turned away from Paul. And look what else he says. He even gives you specifically two individuals. Be turned from me, of whom are Phygilus and Hermogenes. Now read that in the Good News. Because these were some Christian leaders in the church.
Okay.
That's why he singled them out. Why is this sad? Because even in Paul's day, he had people who fell into one of those other three fates. Read that in the Good News, please. Just verse 15. Read that.
The Good News. You know that everyone in the province of Asia, including Phygilius and Hermogenes, has deserted me.
Have deserted me. Everyone in Asia. These are Christians that he converted. And they deserted him, meaning they turned from the faith. This was going on in Paul's day, y'all. That's why this thing with Young Dunn, yeah, it's a big deal for everybody who knew him and followed him, but not for me. People been walking away from this thing since its inception. And keep in mind, during this time, Paul was doing miracles and everything in front of people.
Yep.
A lot of people fell into one of those three categories. That's all the way back then. What do you think is happening now? That's a lot of people. He said all in Asia. If you read the book of Acts, Paul was converting a lot of people. Wasn't he?
Yep.
And he said all of them have turned away from me. We all shocked because we lost Young Dunn. These are entire churches Paul is talking about. Imagine if ABT got so big that we had several churches all over America and all of them just stopped believing. Imagine that, Kevin J.
Wow.
Much bigger deal than just one person saying they don't believe in. Because see, what social media does is it doesn't put stuff in perspective.
Right.
See,
right.
we think because you are a larger than life personality, that means it was a larger than life loss. Don't get it twisted. One person losing their faith, that's tragic. But it's still just one person. Imagine if several thousand people turned away from this. And this was in Paul's time. Did Paul do anything wrong? Paul was on task.
Yep.
It's those 4 fates I keep telling y'all about. They get caught up in the third. The one of the 3. Let's go to the last one. Still in 2 Timothy. Turn to chapter 4. Are y'all asking me what happened? Y'all know what happened.
They asking Ben what happened.
Oh, okay. I know. I mean, y'all know what happened. What made these people turn away, though, Kevin J? One of those 3 scenarios.
Yes, sir. They could not endure.
That's a big loss, ain't it?
That's a big loss, brother.
Right? I put stuff in perspective. You know, it's tragic if we lose one, but still just one brother. I ain't gonna shed that many tears for one brother, especially if I ain't know him. Right? This is how I go. But I took y'all here to show y'all one thing. That even when you got the best of the best, Paul is far and away a superior teacher to Josh, Kevin J, Ariel, Truth Seeker, Gideon, Tommy, Keanu. He's way better than us. And he lost a whole continent full of people.
Right.
And I'm not saying everybody on Asia at that time, in Asia, was converted. But he said all in Asia, I mean, whatever church or churches he had set up over there, he said all of them, they gone. Dang. I don't know anybody in this modern age that set up a whole church and turned around and like, man, I lost my whole church. Like they all turned from me. All of them. I know it's happened before, but dang. You would, wouldn't you? Right, you would, wouldn't you? Right? But was Paul the issue, Gideon? Exactly. What was the issue then? It was those first 3 categories. And I don't want y'all to be in the first 3. Y'all need to be in the 4th one and stay in the 4th one.
Amen.
Get in it and stay in it. You want the 4th fate. That's what you want your destiny to be. Right? Watch what Paul says here. 2 Timothy 4, 9 and 10. Read that, please.
2 Timothy 4, verses 9. Do thy diligence to come shortly unto me. For Demas has forsaken me, having loved this present world, and is departed unto Thessalonica, Crescens to Galatia, Titus, and Dalmatia.
See, Paul didn't have a problem mentioning people by name that walked away from him. Paul said, Demas hath forsaken me, and he even gave a reason, having loved this present world. How many people that sound like to y'all?
Ooh.
Having loved this present world. Now, scholars will tell you that people interpret this differently. Some scholars will say when they say he loved this present world, it meant he loved the life he was living and did not want to suffer persecution with Paul, who was pretty much doomed to be martyred. But even if you interpret it like that, they still fall into the parable of the sower, because he did that because persecution arose for the word and he got offended. He stumbled, right?
Yep.
Or if you interpret it to mean he loved the present world, like he was more consumed with the cares and the riches of this world, he's still into one of the he's still in one of two of the bad categories.
Yeah.
Where you end up. So the point is, this is yet another person who got caught up. And you know what's so crazy about this? Turn to Colossians 4 and 14. This wasn't even in the lesson, but I just want to point something out to y'all.
All right now.
I just want to point something out. What was that guy's name? Kevin, what was his name? Who forsake Paul?
Demas.
Forsook Paul?
Demas.
Demas, right? His name was Demas, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Read that, please.
This is Colossians 4 and 14. Luke, the beloved physician, and Demas greet you.
Wait a minute. Paul is mentioning him in the letters. Mm-hmm. So this guy was down with Paul, right?
Yes, he was.
Now go to Philemon. This is the last one. I just want to point this out so y'all can know the significance of this. This one in the lesson, but I want to point it out. Philemon 1 is only one chapter, 1 and verse 24. Watch what Paul calls him here.
This is Philemon 1 and 24.
Mm-hmm.
Mark, Aristarchus, Demas, Lucas, my fellow laborers.
He called them his what?
Fellow laborers. They was working
fellow
with him.
laborers. They were working with him. What kind of work were they doing with him, Kevin J?
They was doing.
What were they all doing?
They was getting that gospel out. They was working for the Lord.
They was all preaching the gospel.
Yeah.
He called this man his fellow laborer. That means this man was side by side with him preaching the gospel. But when you get to 2 Timothy 4, 9, and 10, Paul's saying, brother, don't abandon him.
Wow.
Loving the present world.
Wow.
Sound familiar, y'all?
We do.
Sound like anything that recently happened? See, I'm trying to tell y'all, these 4 fates ain't no joke. They were going on even in Paul's day. 1 minute he calling somebody his fellow laborer. The next he's saying this dude don't abandon him. Them 4 fates ain't no joke. It was happening right then and there. So much for once saved, always saved. How you go from being my fellow laborer to you don't abandon me loving the present world? Whether you running because you don't want to be persecuted, which still falls on one of the bad categories in the parable of the sower, or whether you abandon Paul because you care about the riches of the world, that still falls on the category of one of the bad in the parable of the sower.
Yeah.
So it's still falling away. So sisters and brothers, I hope y'all are really looking at yourselves and making sure that you're stuck on 4. That's what you want to be. You want to be stuck on 4. You don't want to go back in 3, 2, or 1. You want to be the one that hear the word, understand it with an honest heart, and bring forth good fruit. Because if you don't be stuck on 4, then it's 3 for thee. We'll be back after these brief announcements. You're going to be one of them. Okay, everybody. Shout out to all 85 people who are still tuning in. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out today. Just so you know, if you're new, just so you know, we do this every week, every Saturday, every Sabbath on Clubhouse and Discord. We first open up the Clubhouse room at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I try to play some nice gospel music for y'all for about 30 minutes on Clubhouse, and then we start the class on Clubhouse and on Discord and on YouTube and on TikTok and on what's that other one that Tommy records on? Not TikTok, but Twitch. Not TikTok, but Twitch. And the other one, and on Rumble. So we're doing multiple streaming around here. So I hope everybody taking advantage of at least one of those platforms.